с пропеллером. Вы знаете, есть какая-то такая вот магическая сила вот этого звука поршневого двигателя и пропеллера. Любители авиации, а сегодня это юные курсанты, их маленькие самолеты находятся там, они сейчас на парковке, а они наверняка здесь, эти ребята-курсанты, которые здесь обучаются. Для них это не просто класс, это мастер-класс настоящих спортсменов. И они-то знают, как непросто вот так вот. Вроде бы летать, вроде бы парить, но в этот момент весь спортсмен собран, предельно собран и знает и понимает, что сейчас наступает тот момент, когда он примет решение и зайдет на вот эти стартовые ворота, которые обозначены в верхушке вот такими шашечками. И это и есть ворота старт-финиша. Высота 25 метров, рабочая зона 10 метров, средний желтый бублик. И говорит, что именно по этой плоскости, именно по этой линии пилот должен пройти. И это будет единственная верная и правильная траектория. Правила, они, в общем-то, простые, так же, как и полет. Когда летчик научился летать, он говорит, ну что, летать-то просто. А вот как сделать так, чтобы победить, в этом и заключается некоторое таинство. Итак, 25 метров пилона, объемного пилона, аэропилона. Он такой искусственно надуваемый и держится, несмотря на плотный ветерок волгоградских степей. Расстояние между пилонами приблизительно 50 метров. И самолет должен, вот смотрите, обозначив свою траекторию дымогенераторов, четко проходит по желтому бублику, доворачивает левым виражом и мчится уже к следующим пилонам. Это вторая пара ворот, он его проходит и выполняет так называемый маневр разворота. Это и есть вот тот момент, который каждый пилот для себя определяет сам, потому что вроде бы траектория у всех похожая или почти одинаковая, а вот нюансы они определяют не просто мастерство, не просто стиль, а стратегию и тактику прохождения гонки, потому что это гонка, а гонка это так называемая прохождение трассы с минимальной скоростью. Какой же русский не любит быстрых полетов, так и хочется сказать. И вот, выполнив проход через очередные ворота, он заходит опять на старт-финишные ворота. И это первая замкнутая петля траектории. Выполнил, отдышался на секунду, тут же прицелился и мощно движется для того, чтобы атаковать следующие ворота. Уверенно проходит и так плавненько разворачивается с набором. Полубоевой разворот. Вот он так сверкнул плоскостями в лучах солнца и заходит на атаку следующих. Это две пары, так называемые третья и четвертая пара ворот. Вот он скорректировал направление и проходит уверенно. Раз, взял одни ворота. Тут же вторые приближаются и проходит стремительно. И делает вот такой боевой разворот на горке через крыло. Так смотрите, раз и переламывает траекторию. Здесь не очень высокая перегрузка. Дмитрий не старается выжимать максимальное количество Ж, как нас любят спрашивать. А какая перегрузка? И он это делает первый тренировочный проход для того, чтобы максимально отточить и посмотреть разные режимы. Вот он выполнил первые два прохода. Это первая попытка, выключил дым, сейчас он немножко отдышится, проконтролирует все показания приборов, посмотрит, может даже увидеть кого-то из вас, дорогие зрители. Вы понимаете, вот странное такое мастерство у летчиков или свойство. Летчик, он, конечно же, обладает прекрасным здоровьем и великолепным зрением, а это и есть тот маленький секрет, орлиное зрение. Как любая птица на, казалось бы, большой высоте, она видит свою четко цель, и вот так же и летчики, забравшись туда вверх, немножко отдышавшись, они так расслабляясь и думают, да, что же там на земле, как там зрители наши, понравились, не понравились. И тут же переключают свое все внимание именно на показания приборов и на свое место и точку над трассой. Итак, гонка не просто продолжается, а она началась, и страсти по ходу движения самолета, по ходу полета самолета будут только нарастать, только увеличиваться скорости, только увеличиваться перегрузки. Итак, Дмитрий Мотин задал нам вот тот ритм, он выполнил первую попытку, сейчас он существенно, однозначно добавит драйва, добавит скорости, и мы с нетерпением ждем нашего первого участника Дмитрия Мотина. А я тем временем, пока он на пикировании набирает скорости, скажу, что родился он в 1969 году и является президентом Национальной ассоциации авиационных гонок, президентом Федерации самолетного спорта Тульской области. Именно благодаря его инициативе и настойчивости появились русские авиационные гонки. И вот он решительно штурмует, берет первые стартовые ворота. Тут же в горизонте ровненько, выровняв самолет, проходит вторые, делает маленький такой боевой разворотик, разворачивается. Вот главное на этом маневре не максимальная скорость, а минимальное время. Он, как я уже подчеркнул, пилотирует не слишком агрессивно, но очень изящно. Потому что он летчик-инструктор первого класса государственной авиации и смело и решительно проходит очередные два пилона. Ветер их наклоняет, тем самым усложняет координацию и ориентирование, как пройти их безукоризненно. Это удалось Дмитрию, он справился. Выходит боевым вправо, развернулся. Смотрите, как они пляшут под ветром волгоградских степей, эти пилоны. Тем самым еще усложняет ему добавляет ему сложности для прохождения. Но Дмитрий четко все рассчитал и с нулевыми отклонениями прошел эти ворота. Молодец Дмитрий, старается. Не зря же он чемпион России по высшему пилотажу в составе команды в классе Як-52. Призер соревнований на Кубок России по высшему пилотажу 2018 года. Сейчас наш призер и соискатель Кубка Победы атакует третью пару пилонов. Вот он. Выровнял самолет. Отлично. С нулевыми отклонениями проходит третьи ворота. Тут же четвертые ворота. И выполнив боевой разворот вправо, не сильно затягивая, чтобы минимальная траектория была и максимальный результат, выполняет заход на финишные ворота. Быстрее, быстрее, Дмитрий! Добавляй скорости! Не зря же мы этот день так ждали, так готовились. Результат показан. Отлично. И вот, как полагается чемпиону, вот эта озорная бочка на горке. Здорово! Можно наградить Дмитрия аплодисментами. Зрители, поддерживаем летчиков, создаем себе настроение, потому что праздник только начинается. И поверьте, солнце светит, ветер гонит в сторону облака, и легкие перьевые облачка только добавляют эту великолепную картину мирного неба над Волгоградом. Итак, Дмитрий закончил. Сейчас мы узнаем его результат, его покажут на мониторах. На мониторах вы это увидите, я вам объявлю. А я дополнительно скажу, что на плечах Дмитрия большая, огромная организаторская работа. Несмотря на то, что он, как и любой летчик, мчится в небо, старается максимально летать, он выполняет еще огромный объем подготовительных работ. Ведь все это требует огромных согласований во всех организациях, инстанциях, потому что это официальный вид спорта в дисциплине авиагонки. И все это заслуга Дмитрия Мотина. Он отработал первую и вторую попытку. Однозначно лучший результат будет отобран в качестве зачетного. И мы это время через некоторое время увидим на мониторе. Я пока его еще не получил. Судьи вот-вот его передадут. А я вам скажу, что самолет, двигаясь в пространстве, обгоняя время, в гонках должен выполнить массу так называемых граничных условий. Это что значит? Самолет движется в пространстве и должен выдерживать четкую координацию по трем осям. Итак, самолет поднял нос вверх, опустил хвост вниз. Это он начал увеличивать угол тангажа. Так вот, в момент прохождения ворот угол тангажа должен быть равен нулю. Тем временем вы слышите, как взлетает Ил-29. А я продолжаю вам рассказ про те требования, которые должен выполнить летчик. Теперь, если самолет летит, как я вам сказал, ровно по углу тангажа, он должен прицелиться и попасть в створ ворот. Тем самым он как бы рыскает. Это угол рыскания. Этот угол тоже должен быть равен нулю. То есть траектория должна быть поставлена так, чтобы он перпендикулярно прошел линию двух пилонов, то есть линию створа ворот. Ну и третий угол — это так называемый крен. Но этот угол легко вами понимается, и ассоциация тут предельно понятная. Самолет не должен крениться ни налево, ни направо. Именно выполнив фиксацию самолета по 3 плоскостям, по 3 углам с нулевыми отклонениями, он и должен пройти ворота. Максимальный угол отклонения выше 5 градусов, он является уже недопустимым. Вот до 5 это 0 штрафных баллов, больше 5 градусов это штрафные баллы. Вот это, казалось бы, простое правило, как непросто его выполнить в полете. Только что мы видели, как это продемонстрировал поршневой самолет. Крупным планом вы видите этот прекрасный акробатический самолет перед вами. Это Як-55, а в небе туда ушел на запад легендарный дельфин Л-29. Те, кто живет здесь, в Средней Ахтубе, им очень хорошо знаком этот звук этого самолета. Элочка, Л-29. Многие годы здесь функционировал Досафовский аэроклуб. И летчики летали, инструкторили, как они говорят. Ну а что там, говорит, инструкторская работа самая легкая. Сел во вторую кабину и только рассказывай этому курсанту, как летать, как не летать. На самом деле это магия, таинство передачи этого мастерства. Поэтому здорово, что в парке Патриот на Средней Ахтубе именно возрождается. Не просто возрождается, а не прерывается линия времен, и линия вот та, которая обеспечивает знания, умения, и именно она является силой авиации, когда из поколения в поколение приумножается летное мастерство и передается таинство выполнения полета на самолете. И это прекрасно, что сегодня здесь, на Средней Ахтубе, мы станем свидетелями всероссийских соревнований. Вот она, Альбатрос ЛК. Альбатрос, отставите, Дельфин Л-29. Они идут рядом, Альбатрос Л-39 или Дельфин Л-29. Страсти только, как говорится, нарастают, и мы услышали легендарный звук Дельфина Л-29. Под вторым номером у нас участник, не участник, а участница Крылова, Юлия Крылова. Помните, как в бой идут одни старики, когда на аэродром, на котором базировались истребители, прилетели девчонки на легендарных По-2. И как завораживающие летчики, заворожительными взглядами летчики провожали девчонок и встречали, которые прилетели на легендарном самолете. Так и наша Юленька, научившись летать в зрелом возрасте, открыла для себя то, что называется, многие говорят, она не совсем мужская профессия, но поверьте, девчонка в самолете — это не просто здорово, это чудо необыкновенное. И сейчас Юля продемонстрирует свое великолепное мастерство владения этой крылатой машиной Дельфин Л-29. В ее руках должен, я однозначно верю, сотворит маленькое чудо, и тем самым она покажет мальчишкам, которые будут дальше, мужчинам, взрослым, зрелым мужчинам, которые будут летать за ней, что вот так она, девчонка, может пилотировать и может проходить эту трассу. Потому что мало научиться летать, мало научиться выполнять все фигуры высшего пилотажа. Нужно еще уметь работать, максимально работать на предельных режимах, предельно малые высоты. Это называется бреющий полет. Военные летчики высоко ценят тех мастеров, которые могут выполнять бреющий полет. А она, девчонка, дерзновенно поднявшись в небо, продемонстрирует нам сегодня все свое мастерство во всей красе и великолепии. Болеем за единственную девушку, спортсменку. Жах! И прошла первые ворота. Вот так вот. Скорости растут, потому что в небе реактивный самолет, качнув с крыла на крыло, резко потянув ручку на себя, в шикарном вираже на горочке с боевым выполнила разворот Юля со снижением. Заходит на линию прохождения третьих и четвертых ворот. Все, внимание, перед вами маленькое чудо. Шустрые. Дельфин быстро, юрко проходит одну и вторую. Это третий и четвертый створ ворот. И вот туда, немножко влево. И тут же глубокий разворот, вираж вправо. Перегрузка растет порядка 4-5 единиц. Прекрасная машина держит перегрузку. А мужественная, да, к сожалению, именно это слово приходится применить. Мужественная женщина, девушка, Юленька. Вот она. 25 метров! Эх, в створ ворот попасть бы! Но тут маленькая помарочка, так как не удалось вытянуть крен, убрать, и она прошла его. Но судьи не будут предельно строгими, они понимают, что это первая попытка, что называется, нужно дополнительно пристреляться, освоиться. Юля, выполнив прохождение очередных ворот разворачивается, и вот так вот она проходит чуточку повыше. Понятно, это будет не зачетная попытка, но полноценная тренировочная, для того, чтобы, выполнив ее, она отдышалась, собралась. Конечно же, волнение, конечно же, она первая на реактивном. Девчонка должна задать ритм. И вот даже мы сбиваемся, говоря о том, как она там старается, а как же не просто ей. Да, вот оттуда, от солнца зашла она и низко прошла на нашем всеми любимом дельфине Л-29. Итак, переведем дух. Она ушла туда в сторону города Волжского, развернется с набором высоты. Мы, конечно же, очень болеем за нашу Юленьку, стараемся. И внизу за ней наблюдает ее первый инструктор. Тот человек, который, взяв ее за руку, подвел к самолету и сказал: ну что ж, смелее, ножку на подножку и вперед на место. И вот так, однажды сев в чашку катапультного кресла самолета «Дельфин Л-29» и выполнив первый полет, а тут как в парашютном прыжке. Если парашют раскрылся, значит, это ваш вид спорта. Если полет удался, значит, дерзайте, летайте дальше. Вот этим Юленька и занимается. Дерзновенно осваивает технику, и не просто осваивает ее, а шлифует свое летное мастерство. Итак, выполнила первую попытку, и сейчас она заходит на выполнение второй попытки. Однозначно она должна все сделать безукоризненно, потому что мы за нее болеем, и мы в нее верим. Юлия Крылова, Московская область. Аэродром базирования, легендарный аэродром Орешково. Ох, как подмосковные любители авиации ценят, знают это место, Мекку реактивной авиации. Именно там забазированы эти крылатые воздушные дельфины Л-29. Итак, внимание, они у нас летают без дымов, потому что чуть-чуть это сложнее, чем на поршневых сделать, но, тем не менее, траекторию они будут обозначать своей стремительной полетной линией, а фиксацию по всем углам будут фиксировать наши беспристрастные судьи. Итак, в ожидании подхода на максимально возможной скорости реактивный самолет учебно-тренировочный Л-29 — это не сверхзвуковой, но довольно-таки резвый самолет. До 700 км в час можно разогнать эту крылатую машину. И Юля сейчас наверняка набирает, что называется, скорость для того, чтобы начать и выполнить вторую попытку. Итак, наши операторы словили видоискателем в фокусе Дельфин Л-29. Смотрите, сколько лет этой машины. Я даже не буду говорить, какого года рождения, чтобы не обидеть ее возрастом, потому что самолет, он каждый день, аэроплан, он каждый день как заново рожденный, когда он в небе, когда он чувствует встречный ветер и уходит от бокового, прикрываясь виражом или скольжением. Вот так вот машина в воздухе живет. На стоянке ждут ее техники, которые знают, все подготовлено по максимуму, все сделано как можно лучше. И они верят, что Юля на максимальной скорости, скорость 500, 0 отклонений по курсу кренового тангажу. Вторые ворота проходят на максимальной скорости. Каким маневром она будет ломать траекторию? Отклонилась чуть вправо и тут же повернула с набором высоты в вираже с максимальной перегрузкой. Тут до шестерочки, наверное, вдавила она перегрузку уже. На снижении разгоняет машину. И тут же, смотрите, ей нужно выровнять, зафиксировать горизонтальный полет. И без отклонений по крену. Отлично, нет отклонений по крену. Отлично. Тангажик можно было бы чуть-чуть и скорректировать, чтобы оптимизировать траекторию. Но Юля просто на одном дыхании взяла 2 пары ворот. Сейчас, выполнив без практически набора дополнительной высоты. Да, есть такое размашистое выполнение вот этого затянувшегося виража. Но зато он выполняется на максимальной скорости. Вы смотрите, 90 градусов максимальная перегрузка. И вот дополнительно она снижается, чтобы четко на высоте 20 метров. Это так называемый бреющий полет, предельно малые высоты и предельные режимы безукоризненно демонстрирует Юлия Крылова. Итак, первая половина второй попытки выполнена. с наборчиком, левым виражом на 90 градусов. Ох, и не просто ей сейчас. Солнышко прикрывает фюзеляжик. Не блестят они пилоны, а так покачиваются. И вот она, увидев, четко зафиксировала линию траектории и заходит на пилоны. Третий, четвертый перед ним. По нулям. Тангаж, рысканье, и тут же креном уходит вираж. Лево, тут же переложила направо. Еще один виражик на максимальных режимах, и она будет финишировать. А мы с нетерпением ждем ее завершения второй попытки и просим секундомер чуть-чуть замедлить время. Нет, время невозможно остановить никому. И, внимание, все внимание, есть прохождение финишных ворот. Итак, Юля продемонстрировала во второй попытке. Сейчас нам покажут время. Юлия Крылова продемонстрировала вторую попытку с лучшим для себя результатом 2 минуты 8 секунд и 477 тысячных секунды. Здорово! Молодец, Юля! Мальчишки там, одевая шлемы, думают, ну да, надо на пару секундочек-то получше пролететь, чем наша Юленька. Ну посмотрим, посмотрим. Итак, мы ожидаем третьего участника соревнований. Это Николаев Владимир, ветеран, легенда. Этот человек, по сути дела, один из старейших на поршневых самолетах, выступающих за команду на поршневых самолетах в номинации «Поршневые самолеты Як-55». Он является патриархом. Патриархом в полном смысле этого слова, потому что он является старейшим летчиком, летчиком-инструктором. Однажды и навсегда заболев небом, он понимает, что это правильная привычка, это то, что нужно не просто самому знать и уметь, но и бережно и щедро делиться этим мастерством. Мастером спорта России, летчика-инструктора первого класса ДОСААФ России мы можем гордиться, когда у нас такие спортсмены, участники соревнований. Он, Николай Владимиров, 1960 года рождения, сегодня уверенно держится в небе и управляет своим самолетом Як-55. Что он говорит о себе лично? С детства заболел авиацией. Еще в школе, занимаясь в авиамодельном кружке, и он понял то, что называется авиацией. Понял до винтика, до самой маленькой нервюрки, из чего и как состоит самолет. И сегодня, овладев мастерством летчика-спортсмена, вот это вам демонстрирует. Безукоризненно проходит первые ворота. И тут вот так вот размашисто в вираже немножко забросил траекторию, тут же скорректировал ее. И смотрите, как он мощно взмыл вверх. И там вверху повернул машину, скорректировал по направлению на снижение, разогнал машину до максимальной скорости. И вот четко, безукоризненно прошел очередные ворота. Третье и четвертое. На восходящем вираже с боевым разворотом выполнил изменение траектории. И вот сейчас смотрите, самый сложный элемент. Максимально по-короткому зайти на максимальной скорости с нулевыми отклонениями. Хороший темп демонстрирует Владимир. Не зря Ивановский аэроклуб воспитал такого замечательного летчика. И выполнил там свой первый полет в 1983 году. Вдумайтесь. 83-й год, 40 лет практически в небе. Он выпускник Волчанского авиационного училища. Сегодня демонстрирует свое нестареющее, легендарное мастерство летчика-спортсмена. Освоил десяток типов воздушных судов. Летчик-инструктор первого класса, как я уже сказал. Вот он сейчас демонстрирует, как он мастерски. Вот это здорово. Смотрите, выполнил такой вираж и не допустил практически ни одной крупной помарки. Когда его спросили, ну вот столько лет в небе, в чем секрет вашего долголетия? Он практически сразу, скромно, щедро поделился своим секретом. А чтобы так долго жить в небе, нужно постоянно летать и делать это с любовью. Именно с любовью к небу все эти годы он пилотирует разнообразную технику. И неважно, что это Як-18, Як-50 или наш легендарный Ан-2, это он делает безукоризненно и учит этому своих курсантов. А для постоянного поддерживания себя еще в более, скажем, высоком спортивном уровне он и принял участие в проекте «Русские авиационные гонки». Экстремальные полеты и пилотаж, как он сам говорит, стали для меня вторым дыханием. И мы верим, что он будет не просто нашим главным долгожителем, но и тем драйвером скорости, напора и мастерства в небе. Итак, первая попытка выполнена. Сейчас он будет заходить на вторую попытку. Все внимание в небо. Наши операторы стараются и старается Владимир Николаев. Есть взятие первых ворот. Вот смотрите, на ноже практически он проходит в вираже. Тут же выровнял машину и взял вторые ворота. И вот крупным планом во всей красе, сверкая в лучах волгоградского солнца, он бросает свой самолет. Пологое, но идеальное пикирование, потому что здесь самое главное не просадить машину, а добавить скорости, не сорвать ее на режимы, не потерять драгоценные секунды. Вот в этом и заключается гонка. Вроде бы все одинаково, вроде бы все с одинаковыми кульбитами, но результат-то разный. Вот смотрите, как он лихо заложил этот виражик, аж левый-правый пилон прогнулся от удивления. Но Владимир четко контролирует траекторию и выровнял машину. Молодец, здорово. Ровно по среднему желтенькому бублику. И тут же есть перекладка траектории. Вот он, 55-й як. Самолет-легенда. За штурвалом летчик-спортсмен-легенда. Владимир Николаев. Третья пара ворот взята. И тут же стремительно проходит через четвертую пару. Скорость подпросела, голос устает у меня, а он не сдается. Видите, как он виражит без набора высоты. Это значит что? Что траектория минимальная. Хотелось бы, чтобы максимальный был результат. И он показывает следующее время, которое демонстрирует на мониторе. Наши судьи зафиксировали, и он показал результат 1 минута 17 секунд 864 секунды. Вот смотрите, летал реактивный, только что отработал поршневой самолет. Казалось бы, принципиально разные скорости. Тот быстрее, а результат прохождения трассы близкий. То есть нет, в 2-3 раза медленнее. В этом и заключается гонка. Потому что тот самолет быстрее летит, но траектория длиннее, размашистая. А этот, смотрите, он так компактненько уложил, все, четко зафиксировал самолет прохождения каждого створа ворот. Мы сейчас будем смотреть, и некоторые скажут, что ну они почти все одинаково летают. Да нет, никак не одинаково, потому что каждый по-разному выводит машину, каждый по-разному делает вот эти небольшие коррекции. А любая дополнительная коррекция — это уже потеря секунды. Вот смотрите, только он прошел на повторе, это четко видно. И тут же виражик заложил, ни больше, ни меньше, ровно столько, сколько нужно. Подорвал машину вверх, но ни выше, ни ниже, а ровно столько, чтобы сделать эту оптимальную траекторию. Вроде бы просто, но не так-то это и просто. А тем временем страсти только нарастают, и гул, знакомый гул газотурбинного двигателя сообщает нам о том, что Дельфин Л-29 начинает свой разбег, чтобы выполнить подъем носового колеса и поднять эту крылатую машину в небо Волгоградской области. Туда, в сторону Волгограда, взлетает Элка. Вы видите, сейчас она поднимется выше так называемого заднего плана, и это город Волжский. И набор высоты, набор скорости. Сколько раз курсанты, выполняя здесь учебно-тренировочные полеты, выполняли эту процедуру. И каждый раз летчики, инструкторы, находясь во второй кабине, не просто наблюдали за ними, а они мысленно сообщали им, буквально находясь в метре, те таинства, то вот что, чуть-чуть прибери, чуть-чуть доверни, сделаю так, а потом уже после посадки будет разбор полетов. Сегодня у нас также, и вчера были разборы полетов, потому что вчера ребята-спортсмены провели день в тренировках, и это было тоже замечательно интересно. Ветер был еще сильнее, мы даже не смогли надуть пилоны, потому что ветер настолько был плотный, что гнулись пилоны, но летчики летали, не сдавались, тренировались. Сегодня они покажут в зачетных полетах свое мастерство. В разгаре, вы сами понимаете, все должно быть строго по расписанию. Вот смотрите, у нас чередуется вылеты реактивной, поршневой техники, еще масса всевозможных нюансов должна быть соблюдена, потому что соревнования требуют строгих протокольных моментов, и сам проект он требует еще масса нюансов. Все должно быть предельно скоординировано, все должно быть вовремя и по месту. А в небо свою крылатую машину поднял Павлов Антон. Так, немножко переведем дыхание, посмотрим по сторонам. Элочка ушла, я ее потерял из вида, но тем не менее сейчас оператор покажет крупным планом. Итак, 8 мая 2022 года всероссийские соревнования по авиационным гонкам на Кубок Великой Победы проходят в городе Герои Волгограде. Здесь, на аэродроме в Средней Ахтубе, лучшие спортсмены нашей Родины соревнуются в филигранном мастерстве скоростного прохождения на предельных режимах гоночной трассы, которая перед вами, она обозначена створами ворот в виде двух пилонов. Левый и правый каждый раз по полету летчики говорят: эх, я левый прошел хорошо, а правый аж наклонился передо мной. А для нас это картина гонок. Да, какой же русский не любит быстрой езды, и в данном случае быстрых молниеносных полетов. Прекрасный день 8 мая. И все мы живем ожиданием нашего главного праздника Дня Победы 9 мая. Именно Кубок Великой Победы разыграют спортсмены России в небе Волгограда. Все внимание в небо. В небе Дельфин Л-29, пилот Антон Павлов. Итак, ждем с нетерпением, ожидаем приближения самолета. Интересное место здесь, очень интересное. И вот стартует такой многообещающий проект, потому что он прежде всего направлен на то, чтобы произошло вот это таинство не просто соревнований. Это-то понятно, здесь мы с помощью судей все разберемся. Но именно сегодня зарождается, бросается то зерно любви к авиации, чтобы мальчишка и девчонка увидел, как стремительно проходят на самолете на предельных режимах летчик и сказал: папа, я буду летчиком. Или мама, отпусти меня в летчицы. Именно сегодня и произойдет это таинство. Именно сегодня будет сделана главная прививка для всех наших молодых мальчишек и девчонок. Прививка любви к небу. И, конечно, многие сегодня загадают и станут летчиками. И это будет возможно, потому что сегодня здесь у вас на базе многофункционального центра «Патриот» эта возможность есть. Не просто прыгнуть с парашютом, не просто научиться летать, а прикоснуться к истории нашей великой страны. Собрана прекрасная коллекция самолетов, образцов бронетанковой техники, и она только начинается создаваться, эта коллекция. Будут новые, я верю однозначно, и исторические самолеты, и легендарные бронетанковые образцы техники. Так что называется, мы сегодня, здесь и сейчас творим историю, а ребята творят в небе чудеса, демонстрируют все свое летное мастерство. Антон Павлов проходит 3-й, 4-й створ ворот. Молодец, влево отвернул, и тут же, смотрите, он сейчас, что он задумал? Потянул, что-то долго он влево тянет. Да, что-то он как-то интересно прошел. То ли он будет делать совершенно, скажем так, легкую версию тренировочной первой попытки, но он что-то вот затянул вот с левым, скажем, таким легким виражом, и сейчас он уходит туда далеко, с правым глубоким виражом, далеко он вводит свой дельфин. Наверное, решил побольше скоординировать свои действия и еще раз пристреляться, как говорят летчики, к трассе, чтобы, наверное, уже на второй попытке он улучшит результаты первой. Что-то как-то он не шибко бодро выполняет этот разворот. А может быть, что-то там он решил для себя то, что мы пока еще не знаем. Но, тем не менее, приближение Элки говорит о том, что гонка продолжается, и Антон выполнит этот прекрасный полет для нас. Вот он, бело-красный, в спартаковской раскраске дельфин уверенно проходит очередной створ ворот, и Антон, уверенно пилотируя, вправо отклонил и влево развернет машину в вираже. Уверенно держит траекторию дельфин в мужественных руках Антона Павлова. Вот понимаете, Элка, она такая машина своеобразная. С одной стороны, ее можно давить по перегрузке, по компактности виражей максимально, но ты потеряешь в скорости. Вот Антон, наверное, решил так легенько, по-легенькому слетать и пристреляться получше. Ну, посмотрим, болеем за Антона, ждем и встречаем на максимальной скорости снижающуюся крылатую машину Дельфин Л-29 под управлением Антона Павлова. Четко отфиксировал положение и проходит третье ворота, тут же четвертое ворота. Здорово, здорово, молодец. И уходит с левым небольшим виражом на выполнение замыкающего виража. И я уверен, результат нас немножко удивит, однозначно удивит. Секундомер беспристрастно щелкает, отсчитывает тысячные, сотые секунды. Итак, все, внимание, в небо, наблюдаем и болеем за Антона Павлова. Далеко он туда направо отошел. Зрители, которые выдвинулись чуть-чуть туда вперед, я вот всех прошу немножко не приближаться так близко, потому что, понятно, хочется максимально близко, но нужно обеспечить максимальную безопасность. Вот на предельно малой высоте проходит, блескнул. Что-то пошло не так. Решил он вторые ворота пройти по макушкам. Ну что ж, есть такое дело. Осваивать гоночную трассу. Что-то у Антона получилось не очень ровно, не очень ровно. Но мы болеем за Антона. Итак, мы опять в прямом эфире. Итак, внимание, в небо. Зачетную попытку должен выполнить Антон Павлов. Но что-то у него не очень задался вот этот полет. Он, наверное, хочет еще выполнить один виражик. Ну что ж, летчик, только он и никто другой принимает решение. Готов он, не готов. И именно он отдает себе вот тот главный, скажем так, командный приказ. Все, я работаю. Итак, мы однозначно увидим вторую попытку Антона Павлова, потому что он понимает, что все, это будет вторая и, скажем так, зачетная попытка. Если не сейчас, то второй раз уже только через год, потому что с учетом нашего графика эти соревнования открывают сезон в проекте «Русские авиационные гонки», и реактивные самолеты сегодня, скажем так, первые для них такие большие соревнования этого года. Надо отметить, что уникальность проекта «Русские авиационные гонки» заключается в том, что практически впервые в мире мы сделали вот эту дисциплину, в том числе и для реактивных самолетов. Когда это делали, стартовали с проектом в прошлом году в Нижнем Новгороде, было много сомневающих, а смогут, не смогут, а нужно ли переставлять трассу для поршневых одну, а реактивным другую, одолеет ли эта скоростная крылатая машина вот эти режимы, сможет ли она умоститься в маленькую, короткую, компактную трассу для поршневых. И мы видим, что реактивные самолеты делают это, могут эту трассу пройти. Мы верим в Антона, он возьмет эту трассу с минимальной скоростью, с минимальным временем, тем самым покажет максимальный результат. Ведь перед ним летала девчонка Юля, и она сделала это и показала результат. И поэтому парни просто обязаны улучшать и улучшать это время. Посмотрим. Тут главное, понимаете, не перегореть на старте, не перекипеть в воздухе, потому что там, в компактной кабине Дельфина, все рядом, все под рукой. И кислородная маска может чуть-чуть помочь дышать глубже. Но компьютер, головной мозг, он должен отсчитывать все. Траекторию, время, место, чтобы максимально пройти быстро трассу. Скорость — это одно. Время — вот цена. Цена гонки. И за эти секунды ребята платят максимальными перегрузками и предельными режимами. Внимание, максимальная скорость порядка 500 км в час. Разогнал свой Дельфин Антон и проходит сходу, как говорят, на одном дыхании третью и четвертую пару ворот, отвернув влево, чтобы получить компактный разворот в горизонте. Он сейчас переложит машину в правый вираж. Сколько он там заложит перегрузочку, сложно так вот на большом расстоянии уточнить. Это потом техники, обнуляя прибор, показывающий перегрузку, скажут: да, привез ты сегодня цельную девяточку или восьмерочку. Он говорит: ну да, старался, тянул ручку максимально на себя. Так и вот сейчас Антон максимально ручку тянет на себя в вираже, помогая себе, может быть, ножкой, чтобы не, скажем так, соскочил, не соскользнул он с траектории, не было выполнено скольжений. Идеально в вираже держит машину, крылатую машину Дельфин Антон Павлов, и мчится, опять же, к вот этим озорным, качающимся на плотном ветерке старт-финишным воротам и проходит в прекрасной конфигурации с нулевыми отклонениями. Тут же вторые ворота он берет и, перекладывая машину чуть вправо, сейчас он, смотрите, оба-на, и налево в вираже. Вот тут он уже максимально тянет машину с небольшим наборчиком, чтобы максимально компактно выполнить перекладку самолета, переломить траекторию. Вот машина скоростная, и поэтому вот эти такие размашистые маневры выходят далеко машина уходит от нас. Но наши операторы молодцы, уже пристрелялись так же, как и летчики, и четко держат в перекрестии в виде искателя наши самолеты. Молодец Антон, а секундомер тем временем щелкает. Он уже почти 3 минуты нащелкал. Да, вот что значит скорость. Она не всегда идет во благо лучшего результата, потому что трасса-то она одна у всех, а траектории разные. И стало быть, время разное. В этом и заключается фантастическая притягательность гонки в проекте «Русские авиационные гонки». Антон проходит 2 пары ворот, створ пройден, летчик четко фиксирует положение своей машины. И вот опять же, похоже у них реактивных самолетов траектория. Вот, скажем так, приоткрою завесу, приоткрою тайны. Скажем так, самые мощные, не просто физические парни, которые будут буквально переламывать траекторию. Летчики используют такой оборот, даже иногда не поймешь, что значит ломать машину. Он говорит, ну не в прямом смысле сломать машину, а перегрузку такую заложить, что вот-вот и машина сломается. Нет, не дрогнет наш Дельфин. Однажды на века красиво скроен и плотно сделан, сшит на века этот самолет, склепан крылатый алюминий, и самолет великолепно держит перегрузки. Выполнил Антон прохождение трассы. Ну что ж, он старался, мы болели, и бочечку он сделал, поставил тем самым точечку в своем выступлении, показав 3 минуты, 54 секунды и 778 тысячных секунды. Да, богато времени привез Антон. Ну что ж, так уж и получилось. Он старался, а секундомер тоже старался. Щелкал изо всех сил. И вот столько нащелкал. Судьи, конечно, сделают поправки на всевозможные помарки, ошибки. А мы не перестаем любоваться вот этой красотой. Стремительная машина Дельфин. И вот, понимаете, все они по-разному выглядят, но у них есть фирменный почерк, вид сбоку. А тем временем в небо поднял свою крылатую машину Владимир Ильинский. Владимир Ильинский прекрасный летчик-спортсмен. Родившись в 1982 году в городе Героя Москва, он сегодня заслуженно выступает, достойно представляет нашу страну на международных соревнованиях и поэтому является мастером спорта международного класса. Заслужил он это высочайшее, подчеркиваю, высочайшее звание в борьбе за высший пилотаж на планерах. Или, как они говорят, на планерах. Мастер спорта, тем не менее, России по самолетному спорту и летчик-инструктор. Вот такой вот многогранный талант, многогранный бриллиант, потому что именно этот бриллиант засверкал на чемпионате мира по высшему пилотажу на планерах в 2013 году, где Владимир и стал чемпионом. А также он является призером чемпионата России по самолетному спорту в дисциплине авиагонки 2020 года. Владимир, летая, вот казалось бы, на таких разноплановых типах, планер и самолет поршневой, аэроплан-самолет, кто как называет, он является инструктором, учит, не просто учит, а учит летному мастерству высочайшей категории. То есть человек, однажды завоевавший высшую ступеньку на международном соревновании, он остается на века в памяти всех спортсменов, потому что это высочайший результат. И Владимир Ильинский это продемонстрировал в 2013 году. За все эти годы он не просто летал, а выполняя священную миссию летчика-инструктора, учил тех, кому очень важно стать максимальным специалистом, мастером в своем виде спорта. И не важно, что это планер или поршневой, в данном случае Су-29. Мощно на разгоне, таком мощном, характерном для Су-29 стиле он проходит первую часть от первых до вторых ворот. И смотрите, как компактно на максимальной перегрузке он развернул вокруг хвоста свой сучок. Именно так летчики называют спортсмены этот самолет. По-зорному сучок. И кто может пилотировать сучок, тот всегда говорит бодрячок. Вот это Владимир демонстрирует. Смотрите, как бодренько на 90-градусном вираже. Вот тут не просадить. Молодец, безукоризненно не просадил машину. И прошел штаб-финишные ворота с нулевыми отклонениями. И тут же мчится ко вторым воротам. Молодец, Владимир. Ох, как он ломанул траекторию. Вы видели, у него такое ощущение было, что киль вниз пошел. Не самолет вверх, а киль вниз пошел. Вот это есть. Мощно взял ручку на себя, и машина переломила траекторию. Но все это время ежесекундно он четко контролирует машину. Потому что очень вертлявый самолет этот, очень вертлявый. В данной модификации Су-29 он двухместный. И Владимир очень любит этот самолет. И самолет ему отвечает взаимностью. Четко выполнил все маневры. Горочку выполнил. Почечкой не стал баловаться. Так вот решил отдохнуть. Я отметил вот такую особенность Су-29. Это двухместный самолет. А КБ Сухого, однажды открыв для себя нишу спортивных самолетов, используя суперсовременные технологии по тем годам, это углепластиковое крыло, освоил эту технику не просто так, потому что именно на базе вот этих новых по тем временам перспективных материалах авиационных и родились те технологии, которые сегодня применяются на суперсовременном нашем авиационном комплексе Т-50 или Су-57. Но именно тогда, много лет тому назад, у КБ Сухого первые освоили в промышленном масштабе углепластиковые материалы. И именно из этих материалов сделано крыло вот этого самолета, акробатического самолета фирмы Сухого. И потом, когда летчики сказали, что самолет получился очень хороший, зарубежные специалисты оценили, и вы сейчас можете оценить вот мастерство, маневренности этого самолета, потому что крыло выполнено из углепластиковых материалов, оно практически не имеет ограничений по перегрузке, ни со знаком плюс, ни со знаком минус. Тут уже ограничения наступают именно по возможности, физическим возможностям летчика. Ну а тут, как говорится, нет предела совершенства. Тренировки и еще раз повторяем, ежедневные тренировки. И не совсем обязательно это летать на пилотаж, главное тренировать свой организм. Именно это можно сделать здесь, в многофункциональном комплексе на Средней Ахтубе. Именно здесь будущие юные летчики, парашютисты, летчики-спортсмены тренируются в овладевании не просто техники, но и в совершенствовании своего организма. А это прежде всего зарядка, пробежки и работа над собой. Именно вот так вот, ежедневными тренировками Владимир достиг вот этого уровня мастерства, который он сейчас демонстрирует в своей второй зачетной попытке. Наверное, он хочет еще больше выжать из самолета, еще более точно, филигранно, безукоризненно пройти все створы ворот. Вот смотрите, была перекладка режима работы двигателя. Это то ли ветер дунул, то ли он чуть-чуть дернул руль, и двигатель как бы взвыл чуть-чуть, перенастроившись. Вот в этом и заключается таинство песни неба. Таинство песни поршневого двигателя. Когда поршень давит, а пропеллер тянет машину вперед с максимально возможной скоростью на предельных режимах. Здорово, Владимир Ильинский. Очередной створ ворот проходит. А вот то, о чем я вам говорил. Просто хвостом вниз, как говорится, наклонил машину. Мне говорят, это ты что сказал? Я говорю, ну вы понимаете, когда ты видишь сбоку, ты не понимаешь, как так. Машина не вверх пошла, а хвост как бы вниз осадила. Он переломил траекторию и тут же отпустил руль направления, и машина выстрелила просто вперед. Максимально компактно выполнила этот вираж, а Владимир завершает свою зачетную попытку. Виражит на максимале по перегрузке и с нулевыми отклонениями проходит. Ну и будет бочка. Нет, он решил ровненько выйти на горочки, тем самым продемонстрировал всю серьезность мастера спорта международного класса и показал результат 1 минута 10 секунд и 407 тысячных секунды. Здорово, Владимир, можно поаплодировать, и заодно мы подчеркнем, что все следят внимательно и не просто слушают, что я вам говорю, потому что главное смотреть, глазами ловить этот самолет, чтобы мальчишки и девчонки, затаив дыхание, с замиранием сердца следили, когда он ломается, траектория, не он ломается, а он, пилот, ломает траекторию полета и демонстрирует, что машина может творить чудеса, как говорили летчики и ранее, и сегодня это особенно актуально, когда сверхманевренностью овладели летчики, а именно эта сверхманевренность и позволяет выполнять максимально эффективно боевое задание. Да-да, именно боевое задание, потому что КБ Сухого, оно в основном проектировало и проектирует, оно является лидером, признанным лидером, международным лидером по строительству боевых самолетов. Но вот именно вот это вот летное мастерство, инженерное искусство шлифовалось на самолетах спортивных. И очень часто летчики, испытатели, которые поднимают в небо и учат летать боевые машины, приходят к летчикам-спортсменам и говорят, ну слушай, а можно во вторую кабину, а можно слетать на высший пилотаж, а как оно там? Потому что поршень есть поршень, поршневой самолет, вот звук, вот эта песня неба, когда машина работает устойчиво, двигатель ракочет, этот самый пропеллер шелестит, и ты в единении с природой, как аки-птица, паря в небе, начинаешь творить чудеса высшего пилотажа. Вот сегодня здесь совмещается в полете все. Мастерство высшего пилотажа, овладение всем тем, что называется комплексом таинств, секретов, а все это называется одним словом – мастерством гонки. Многие летчики, выполняя фигуры высшего пилотажа и участвуя в соревнованиях, показывают, доказывают и побеждают, выполняя сложные, темные комплексы. Здесь же у нас есть некая такая вот, знаете, дополнительная стимуляция именно предельных режимов, потому что вот предельно малые высоты, как боевые летчики называют, бреющий полет, это не каждому дано, и этим нужно владеть в совершенстве. И летчики-спортсмены, им очень нравятся предельные режимы, потому что высший пилотаж, он сам по себе, это всегда предельные режимы, это максимальное количество адреналина в крови, и это неизгладимые впечатления для нас, зрителей. Именно для нас они сегодня, для нас, зрителей, они стараются. Летчики-спортсмены России, наша гордость. Да, мы верим, что русские авиационные гонки, выполняя вот эту священную миссию от города к городу, будут выполнять самое главное – прививать устойчивую прививку любви к небу. И вот эти вот прекрасные силуэты дельфина, они лишний раз дополнительно говорят, что вот он, красавец-самолет, крылатая машина. Вот видите, как он в вираже уже 90 градусов положил и перегрузочку добавил. Господи, Шахматов Алексей. Молодец, Леха. Выполнив бодренький разворотик, он с набором скорости в пикирование максимально разгоняет дельфин и безукоризненно, надеюсь, вижу, наблюдаю, безукоризненно проходит третьи ворота, тут же четвертые ворота, бодренько, перекладка влево и тут же мощная перекладка в вираже направо машину. Старается летчик. И я могу сказать, не просто так старается. И не первый год старается Алексей Шахматов. Потому что он военный летчик. Летчик, который, овладев ремеслом, да, мы сегодня называем это ремеслом боевого применения, уйдя на пенсию, на заслуженный отдых, не отдыхает, а летает. И летает вот так мастерски, демонстрирует все свое летное мастерство. И неиссякаемое желание улучшить результат. И, конечно же, возможности машины Дельфина Л-29. Компактненько виражит он на максимальных режимах. Вот отсюда можно четко видеть, какой уголок был в начале выполнения виража и вот сейчас в завершающей фазе. При всей простоте фигуры высшего пилотажа вираж, она крайне сложная и очень ответственна, потому что перегрузка максимальна, а цена ошибки, ох, как строго небо наказывает за ошибки. В данном случае мы однозначно уверены в мастерстве наших летчиков, потому что это шлифовалось не одной сотней, а тысячами полетами, тренировками. Постоянно идет живой контакт, живая работа между летчиками, тренерами и судьями. Вот этот триумвират и является залогом высочайшего результата и безопасности выполнения прохождения гонки. Здорово! Молодец! Как он круто заложил на виражике элочку. Молодец Шахматов. Старается. Ветер немножко усилился, наши пилоны подустали, немножко кренятся, а летчики не ленятся, сражаются, выводят машину на предельные режимы и четко контролируют машину в любой момент времени. Здорово, что всем вам нравится, а как летчики-то довольные, потому что они очень любят, когда они не просто у себя дома на аэродроме летают, они летают перед зрителями и для зрителей. И это здорово, что сегодня это возможно благодаря, я не побоюсь этого слова, отеческой заботы губернатора над проектом здесь, в Средней Ахтубе. Здорово, мастерски прошел. Молодец, Алексей, молодец. Секундомер щелкает, но он еще не очень много нащелкал. Вот что значит максимальная перегрузка Ж на вираже. Здорово. Работаем на максимале. Вот отсюда четко виден вот этот ракурс, когда оператора показывают. И все градусы 90-градусного прохождения на вираже вы видели сами. И это не 3D-модель на симуляторе. Это настоящая гонка проекта «Русские авиационные гонки». Да, так предельно снизился он, но, я думаю, он не допустил прохождения нижнего края. Иногда они прилетают после полета. Блин, ну меня, говорит, так, говорит, хватануло ветерком слева, подопустило самолет. Я, говорит, чуть там не удержался поровнее. Вот смотрите, как он ровненько ставит машину. А ветер теперь попутный. Да разгоняет машину. Еще 40 км в час добавил попутный ветер с волгоградских степей Дельфину Л-29. И летчик это чувствует. Они иногда говорят, я, говорит, ушами почувствовал, как, говорит, в спину ветром давануло. Подразогнал машину. А теперь он напротив ветра в вираже, превозмогая силу Ж, направляет свою машину Дельфин Л-29 для успешного прохождения третьих и четвертых ворот. Маленькая коррекция была между третьим и четвертым створом. Вот он как, смотрите, 90 градусов восходящий вираж с боевым разворотом. Вот такой вот симбиоз высшего пилотажа для того, чтобы минимизировать траекторию. Аж дыхание замерло. Молодец, красавец. Дельфинчик, красавец Дельфинчик и красавец Алексей Шахматов. И вот она такая бочка, четкая бочка на горке. Здорово, аплодисменты, аплодисменты летчику. Да, боевая авиация есть боевая авиация. Уйдя на пенсию, не стал только лишь разводить огурчики-помидорчики на даче, а решил полетать в свое удовольствие и доставив всем нам удовольствие почерком настоящего летчика, военного летчика. Я вам приоткрою тайну, их тут будет несколько настоящих воинов. ушедших в запас, но не мыслящих себя без неба, без полета. Кто-то научился на 29-ке летать, кто-то освоил ее после того, когда закончил летать на МиГ-29. Вот они, гордость России и наша, скажем так, легенда. Итак, что у нас дальше по плану? Сейчас мы посмотрим плановую таблицу. И следующий взлетающий поршневой самолет Як-55 – это Бравков. А вот эта песня пропеллера поршневой авиации. Вот именно этот
Live from Airfield Srednaya Akhtuba outside of the beautiful and historical city of Volgograd, Russia, for the Great Victory Cup of Volgograd. This is the first race of the Russian Air Race Championship 2022. Today you will see the best pilots of both piston engine and jet aircraft. And now, coming onto the course is Pavel Brakov in the Yak-55. Pavel's 39 years young, and he is diving down at a speed of more than 350 kilometers per hour, entering the start gate, and he's through. He has to be at a perfect altitude, not too high, not too low. He's flying straight. Now he's going to pull up, and he pulls hard, a hard left bank, pulling up to 9 Gs, 9 times his body weight. Now he's repositioning, coming back to reposition for gate number 3. He's diving down. He has to be higher than the red line on the pylon, but not above the pylon, or he'll get a penalty. And look at the wind is pushing him, but he gets right through the pylons. He pulls back hard and banks to the left. He's climbing, but now he's going to be diving down to get that precious speed back. The name of the game is the lowest time, and that's what he has to get. So now he's diving back down through the start gate for his second run. He starts his turn to the left, a knife edge turn, 90-degree left bank, wings level. He's about to go through gate 1. He pulls hard and climb. Feel the turn and the burn. Oh, that is brutal, folks. 9 times his body weight pressed against him. Now he's diving back down. He's fighting the wind right now. The wind is trying to push him to the left, but he's trying to stay. Look at that. It's pushing him, but he's right through the center. His altitude is good. Right through the pylons. Now he's pulling hard, and now the wind is pushing him back toward the finish, the checkered pylon. He doesn't want to get inside of it. He's got to go between the pylons. So look at him. He's looking over his shoulder, and he's pulling, and now he's diving down to the finish, and levels off, and there he goes. Pavel Brakov, 132.772 seconds. That's excellent. Our fans are very impressed. They are pleased, folks. Today is extremely windy conditions, very challenging for these pilots, but these are some of the best pilots in the world. These are current world, European, and Russian champions. And not only men, but we had one young lady, Julia Krylova, flying earlier in her L-29. As you can see, the pylons right now, they're being blown. And let's watch a little review here of Pavel Brakov. He makes a left bank, almost 90-degree turn, levels the wings. Folks, this is a sport. This is a workout. This is not just your Sunday afternoon fun flying. These pilots are being brutally tested to their limits of both physical and mental skills. As you can see, the wind here, it's blowing him and trying to blow him into those pylons. And let's talk about that while we have a break. There is a 5-second penalty if you hit a pylon, or if you fly higher than a pylon. There's a 5-second penalty. If you fly below the red, you see the red on the pylon. If you fly below that, that's an immediate disqualification. Here we go, getting back on the track. Pavel Brakov in his Yak-55. He is diving down 350 kilometers per hour, full throttle. Here he goes for his second run through the start gate. Altitude looks good. Banks left, lines up for gate number 1, and pull. There's the pull. There's the left bank and pull into the vertical. He's turning back around, repositioning for gate number 3, diving back down, trading altitude for airspeed. He's got to go through both pylons. Up there, oh, the wind is pushing. He's getting pushed toward the pylon. Let's see if he just misses it, but he gets through it with no penalty. Now he's pulling back hard. The wind is helping him now. The wind is now pushing him back toward the finish gate. So you can feel that. And you see the beautiful wings of this Yak 55. And now he's diving back in. Look at those pylons. They're actually moving, so he's moving, and he's back through, starting his second run. And here he goes. Wings are level, altitude looks good, and here comes the brutal pull, the left vertical into the 180 pull. Smoke is beautiful, so you can see every aspect, and now he's turning back around, diving back down, trading altitude for airspeed. And look at the pylons, they're just being blown around, and this time, yeah, he goes right toward the, he has to adjust, he has to correct it. That's gonna cost a little time right there. Every time he banks the wings, that's a little bit of resistance, a little bit of extra speed that's being sacrificed in order to make sure he flies through the pylon. And now all that's left is to dive down back in and finish the race. And he's through, and he pulls up, and let's see if he gets, there it is, a victory roll. Pavel Brakov. Let's talk a little bit about Pavel. 39 years young, from Moscow, 131.825 on his second attempt. Very good, Pavel. He was the bronze medalist last year in the Russian Air Race Championship. He's a multiple prize winner of the Russian National Aerobatic Team of 2019 and 2020, and he's making a couple passes. Right now, he's cooling off that beautiful M14 engine. It needs to be cooled off. So let's watch a review again here. Look at him. He is fighting. Look at here. He almost gets pushed into that pylon there. And then look, he has to adjust a little bit to the right, but then the wind takes him, and look at, he just misses it by a couple of meters. But excellent piloting skill to avoid that pylon. Today, more than any day, is not easy for these pilots. They are, as I said, current and former world, European, and Russian champions, but this wind is testing them to the limits. And as we can see on this review here, we can see the wind is blowing very, very hard, and as they come in, they are being pushed. They have a tailwind as they start the race, which gives them extra speed. And there we see our judges today, who are themselves world and national champions. Okay, and next up, we have our next Yak 55 in position, getting ready. And today is an incredible event, folks. It's a family event. Men, women, and children of all ages enjoying the wonder, the speed, the adrenaline, the sound of the incredible Yak 55. And we have Alexei Ivanov. He is a master sport of Russia, and he's also the president of the air races. Smoke is on. He is diving in at 350 kilometers per hour and for his first run on the track. Remember, the pilots get two attempts today. So he's through the start gate. The clock has started. He banks left, and let's see what his tactic is here. He's going to pull vertical. He's going to, he's a little bit higher than Pavel Brakov, so he's not pulling quite as hard, but nonetheless, he's diving back down, and he's coming through gate number 2, as you can see. Okay, he chose to go a little bit more to the left. Now he's through gate number 4. He's pulling back up to the right on right knife edge. You can see the canopy's a little cracked there to get some air in the cockpit from ventilation. And he brings it right back through the start gate in minimal fashion. Banks left, lines up for gate number 1, or gate number 5, his second time through. Now he's pulling hard to the left. As you can see again, you see that canopy is cracked. It gets hot in there. You're sweating pulling all those G's. 8 to 9 G's, folks. 8 to 9 times your body weight pressed against you. And he's coming back in. His altitude is good. He's through gate number 6 and 7. Now all that's left is to pull hard back, make a right bank, and get back through the finish for his first lap. His time so far, we see he's coming in and he's diving down in, and oh, we might have a penalty there for flying above the pylon. Let's see what the judges say. So Alexei Ivanov, the general director of Russian Air Race Championship. Let's talk about Alexei. He loves flying. He's qualified to not only fly the Yak 55, the Yak 52, the L-29. Our audience today is very, very excited to be here. Most of these people are seeing this for the very first time in their lives. This is the first time in Volgograd there has ever been an air race. So he's repositioning, he's climbing up, he's cooling that engine off, he's composing himself, and he's trying to figure out where he can do better, where he can get a few less seconds off the clock, get a little more speed, get a little tighter on the turns. As you can see, he's making adjustments. The first run through is getting a feel for the wind. Yesterday, these pilots were practicing, but the wind was not as hard, was not as strong. So this is as if they're flying for the first time. Alexei began flying in 2008, and he's never stopped. Here we go. His second run through the start gate. Alexei Ivanov, 350 kilometers per hour, hard left turn, lining up for gate 1. Pulls up hard into the vertical. There's 8 Gs. He's brutally pressed against his seat, and he's diving back down, trading altitude for airspeed. And oh, the wind has blown him off. He's had to correct back to the right a little bit. The wind is a huge factor today. You're not only racing against the clock today, you are racing against the elements. And now he pulls hard, a left vertical pull. The wind is now pushing him toward the pylons, which could be a problem because if he goes outside of them, it doesn't count. And he's through. Minimal effort. He begins his second run through the course. Wings are level. This beautiful shot from our drone camera. He's pulling back now. The stick is in his lap. He's pulling as hard as he can at minimal airspeed at the top. Now rolling back over and pushing that stick forward, full throttle, lining back up this time, a much cleaner racing line than last time. And look, oh, he's got to turn a little bit back to the left to avoid that pylon. Now he's pulling back hard. All that's left is to get through that finish gate, but he needs to do it at the right altitude, not above the pylon and not below the checkered flag mark. And Alexei Ivanov, and he pulls up for a victory roll. Thank you very much, director. Very good job. 126.299, a 3.5 second improvement over his first run on the course. Excellent time for Alexei Ivanov. Now he's going to cool that engine off. Today's format, we have a piston engine aircraft fly the course, then a jet aircraft, a L-29. So we're going back and forth. So yeah, he was really getting pushed around there on the course. The wind was really trying to blow him. Again, Alexei first started flying in 2009. He's rated to fly in the Aeroprac 22, the Yak 18T, Yak 52, Yak 55, and Sukhoi 26. Again, he is the director of the Russian air race, and he absolutely loves flying and flying fast. Folks, welcome again to the Great Victory Cup of Volgograd here at Srednya Akhtuba Airfield outside of the beautiful and historical city of Volgograd. Next up, of course, we will have an L-29. You want to see speed, you want to hear noise. The L-29 is one of the greatest jet trainer aircraft in history. And here we go. Vladimir Lesnyak is on the course. The clock has started. Vladimir Lesnyak, okay, now he's going to pull hard. Look at pull hard into the vertical, and he's climbing, but he doesn't want to climb too high because he's getting farther from the course. He's repositioning back onto the course, diving back down to get speed and get back on the course. Minimal time is the name of the game, folks. Minimal time. Here he comes. Woo! Listen to the sound of that M701 turbofan. And he banks through. Oh, and through both. Beautifully Again, at speeds of over 500 kilometers per hour, those pylons come up on you fast. There is no time to even think after you've made a decision. You've made that decision, and the plane is going to follow very quickly the input. And here he goes, diving down back in for his second run. No penalties, perfect altitude through the first start gate. Now up, he's adjusting. He pulls hard up, into the vertical, pitches up, now back to the left. Right here, he's looking over his shoulder to make sure that he's not pulling too tight, but also not getting too far away. It's an invisible line, folks. There's no autopilot here. This is all hand-eye coordination, brutal strength, and he's diving down back in the legendary L-29 Delphin. He's got to get down. Okay, he's got down. Look at him. He's just crabbing. He's being pushed by the wind. He pulls up to the vertical, pitches up, and now he's going to reposition himself for the finish. These jets going over 500 kilometers per hour, they cannot fly so tightly as the Yak-55s or the Sukhois. They take a lot more altitude and airspace to reposition. And he's diving back down for the finish and through. He's beginning his second run on the course. And no, he's pulling up. He wanted one more time. That's what he wanted one more time. So here he goes. He's pulling back up in the vertical, and he's diving back down. Vladimir Lesniak is a member of the Reactors jet team, a 3-ship of L-29 Delphins that fly aerobatic routines. They will fly tomorrow, May 9th, on Victory Day Parade over Volgograd. And here he comes through. Look at this. Threading right through perfectly. Wind? What wind? Vladimir Lesniak doesn't know anything about the wind today. He has veins of ice as he pulls through. He is flying excellent today. Diving back down. And can you imagine, folks, right here, he's pulling 5 to 6 Gs, diving down at over 500 kilometers per hour, or 300 miles per hour, and he pulls through, rocks his wings over for the audience, pulls back up through, and he's just having fun out there now. He's feeling really, really comfortable in this course. Vladimir Lesniak is himself a former military pilot, a very experienced pilot, and a very, very capable pilot. Here he goes, flying back through. Absolutely steady. I mean, not even a hint of wind. He flew a straight, beautiful line, pulling up into the vertical, pitching over what we call a wing over as he turns the wings over a 90-degree bank, pulling full back on the stick, and now letting the nose go down to build that airspeed, and at the same time turning and pulling, and all the forces of gravity are against you in physics, but that jet engine is pushing you through it very fast. So there we go, folks. Beautiful, beautiful airmanship displayed today by Vladimir Lesniak as he pulls back down. Today the wind is just absolutely brutal, and these pilots are using every trick in the book to make sure that they fly through safely. Look at that, he's being pushed to the left. Oh, and he's using his rear pedals. Woo! Right through. He began flying at 14 years old in youth glider school, then on to Yak-52, and then Yak-18, Cessna 152, Cessna 172, a Technam 2002, and then L-29 and L-39 trainer jets. And right through, and he pulls up for a victory roll. Ladies and gentlemen, Vladimir Lesniak, 2 minutes and 6.16 of a second. Excellent result for Vladimir Lesniak. Folks, we are so happy to be here with you today, showing you the most amazing type of flying. And now on takeoff, our next competitor. Our next competitor is off and pulling the nose up in the Yak 55. Listen to the growl of that brutal and beautiful Vedyenev M14 engine. That's 360 horsepower. And here we have one of our youngest and newest competitors, Vladimir Anguladze. He comes from the Moscow region. He's a master, has attained the title of Master Sport of Russia, a bronze medalist in aerobatic championship and intermediate class 2021, winner of the Russian aerobatic championship in the Yak 52 class in 2019 and 2020. He's a champion of the Yak 52, and he started flying only in 2008, but he's made up for lost time. He's climbing, he's getting altitude now to dive in and get maximum airspeed. In his free time, Vladimir loves aviation, of course. Pilots don't have a lot of free time, but they have to stay in excellent physical condition to pull these kind of G-forces. So he enjoys swimming, motorcycling, and learning foreign languages. I tested him yesterday. Every time we talk, he speaks to me in English. His English is excellent, and he is a really, really nice guy, and he's a very, very talented pilot. He believes that the Russian Air Race project will allow all pilots to improve their skills and discover new talents. He understands that this Formula One style of racing combines speed, maneuverability, and pilot accuracy at extremely low altitudes to attain the best possible results. So, we're waiting for him to climb and dive down. Let's talk a little bit about the Yak 55. It has, as I said, it has room for one pilot. 7.29 meters long, wingspan at 8.10 meters. It has a very big wing, a lot of lift, and here we go. He's diving in. The throttle is pushed forward 350 kilometers per hour through the start gate. Vladimir Anguladze, a hard knife edge turn to the left. And here we go, the brutal, oh, he is just absolutely pulling back hard, and that is absolutely the fastest turnaround we've seen today, the fastest repositioning half Cuban 8, and he's diving down through the pylon 3. Yes, he's good, no disqualification, no penalties. He's looking good. He's keeping, you see, he's flying very low, minimal radius turn, which means maximum G-force against him. And right through the start gate, the left nice edge turn. Now he's pulling. Now as he pulls here, the wind is actually pushing him away from the track, and he's trying to go back. It's like a fish trying to go up against the current. But this fish has 360 horsepower, so it's not going to stop him. He dives back in, trading altitude for airspeed through gate number 6 and through gate number 7. Listen to the sound of that beautiful M14 engine. Look at him just pulling. That elevator is absolutely working hard today, and he pulls back through for his second run. And all right, very good. 113.862, an excellent time. I was talking with Vladimir yesterday. This was actually only third flight of the season for him, so he's still getting warmed up. And as you can see, he's a tall guy. It's good. You see that bubble cockpit, that bubble canopy. Vladimir is a very tall guy. He was playing chess this morning. Folks, you need to understand that these air races are not just physically demanding, but they require incredible mental capacity. And Vladimir was playing chess this morning as a way to get his brain warmed up and to really get his mind focused. These pilots, they're flying by not only feel, but by instruments. So right now he's repositioning, he's getting that engine cooled off a little bit, and he's calming himself down. He's certainly sweating. Folks, flying 15-20 minutes like this feels like 1 hour in the fitness club. You're working all the muscles in your body to keep your consciousness, to keep yourself fully in the best condition. So here we go. He's setting up. He's diving down. Smoke is on. Diving down for his second and final run here at the Great Victory Cup of Volgograd. Vladimir Anguladze in the Yak 55 and pulls right through. Interesting, interesting. He's flying a little higher this time, so now he's got pull back, and there's the pull. There is the brutal 9G repositioning 180 turn. He's now on the down line. You hear that? M14 ground, look at him. He's very smooth now. He's got to get back a little bit to the left, not to hit that pylon. There we go. Okay, but every time he makes those little adjustments, he's costing himself a little bit of time. So now he's pulling back around to reposition and get back through gate 4. Get back through the start gate for a second run through. Okay, he's good. Very minimal radius turn, and now he's banking to the left. And there it is. There's the pull. This is where the race will be won and lost. Anyone can go fast when you're flying straight, but pulling up and repositioning, that's where this race will be won. And he's setting himself up. Wings are level. He's going to try to do this. Wings level. Let's see if the wind is that. Almost a pylon strike, but he made it right through. He's going to make a minimum radius turn to get back to that finish line. His time, a little bit worse than the first try. And he's through. 111.534. Give us a victory roll, Vladimir. No, he's going to climb. All right, he's going to climb. Not a bad try. 111.534. 2-second improvement from his first run. Not bad, not bad. Now, if you listen carefully, you can hear the sound of the M701 turbojet. That means our L-29 is about to take off again. And our next contestant, Mr. Dmitry Mortin. Dmitry Mortin is actually going to be on the course for the second time today. He flew this morning in the Yak 55, and he's doing double duty today, and now he's going to be taking off in his L-29. Dmitry Mortin, as we see here, Vladimir Anguladze is on final approach for landing, and Dmitry Mortin is taking off. He's 53 years old, born in Moscow, and he is the president of the All-Russian Federation of Aviation Racing. He's a master sport of Russia. He's a pilot instructor, first class. That is the top level of pilot instructor. He's the absolute winner last year in the Gagarin Cup of jet aerobatics. He is the winner of the Russian Aerobatics Championship Class Yak 52 2015 and 2019. He's also a prize winner of the Russian Federation Aerobatic Cup in 2018 intermediate class. Let's talk a little bit about him. He began flying in, well, he's a very, very accomplished pilot. Not only a pilot, he has over 1,500 parachute jumps. He's a parachute instructor. So Dmitry Mortin, when he's not flying airplanes, he's jumping out of them. Pretty impressive. Dmitry being the president of All-Russian Federation of Aviation Racing, of course, is a driving force in the Russian Air Race Championship. And folks, we're going to pause for an advertisement now. We'll see you in about a minute. Good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome back to the Great Victory Cup in Volgograd. Dmitry Mortin is climbing in his L-29, getting ready to turn and burn, as we say, in the L-29. Dmitry Mortin, master sport of Russia, number 11. He will be diving in at over 500 kilometers an hour. That's 310 miles per hour. He'll be pulling between 4 and 6 Gs. This is his second time on the course today. He competed already in the Yak 55. So he's got a little bit of an advantage here. He's a little more familiar with the course. So here he goes. He's diving in. He's got that turbofan pushed all the way to the max, but he doesn't want to go too fast because he's got to pull up. And these jets going 500 kilometers an hour can get far away from the track real quick on reposition. So here we go. He's keeping those wings level through the start gates. Altitude looks good. Makes a slight adjustment to the left. Now he's going to pitch up to the right. Again, this is number 1 of 2. So this is kind of a practice run here. He's not, giving everything right now on this first run. He's just trying to get a feel for the course right now. So he's repositioning. He's flying very wide right now. He's flying very wide just to get comfortable with the course. He's going to dive back in and trade altitude for airspeed. These jets are some of the most incredible and well-known trainer jets in the history of aviation, the L-29. And here he goes, right through pylons 3 and 4. Perfect, absolutely perfect. And now he's going to pitch up to the left. Right here, he's going to now roll back to the right. Reposition himself for his second run. Now he's going to go a little wide here because he wants to get as much airspeed on the dive back in, because this is the run that counts. This is the run that counts, this next one around. So here he goes. He's flying extra wide. Okay, the nose is down. The throttle is all the way forward. Oh, the wind is giving him a little problems. He's repositioning. He flies through gate number 5. Now he's pulling up, taking his time, relaxing, a little Sunday, and there we go. See, now he's banking back to the left. The wind is now pushing him away from the track, so he's pulling back, fighting not only the G-forces on his body, but fighting against the wind that's trying to push him away. Now he's going to dive back down. Make sure that's an invisible line, folks. There's no autopilot here. This is all hand-eye coordination, lining himself up, and with the wind, he's turning into the wind, and the wind is now blowing not only against him, but pushing him from the side, what we call a crosswind. He's diving down to get below the minimum pylon height. Very nice. He pulls back up. Smooth 4G pull. Banks back over to the right. He's got to get enough distance. As you can see, it's a difference between the L-29 and the Yak 55. The 55, you can pull it minimum radius turn. But when you're flying 500 kilometers an hour, you cannot pull back hard and make a minimum turn like a Yak 55. So he has to make this nice, graceful, but fast repositioning 180-degree turn. Now the nose is down. He's put that L-29 Dolphin in the best position possible, and he's through. And he's going to pull up 254.601 seconds. Dmitry Mortin, second time on the course today. Now he gets another chance. He's going to reposition himself. Let's take a look at the review here. He comes through. So far, we have no penalties for any low or high flying, so that's good. Let's go over that real quick again. If you fly above the pylon, that's a 5-second penalty. If you fly below the red mark on the pylon, that is an immediate disqualification. You are done for the day, sent home. That is dangerous. And the name of the game here is not just speed, but safety. So Dmitry Mortin, as we see so far, there are no penalties or disqualifications, so that's good for him. Getting back to Dmitry as he repositions, talking about him, Dmitry is an extremely passionate person, loves flying, loves sharing that love of flight with others by bringing to us this Russian air race. It's an incredible undertaking organizationally, folks, especially the first time ever done here in Volgograd. But as you can see, we have a full audience today, despite the wind and the sun. They're out, families are out here on a Sunday afternoon enjoying this beautiful holiday and paying tribute to those who have created such an incredible city in Volgograd. So here we go. He's diving back in for his last attempt today. He's fighting the wind. He's got to get through those pylons exactly right down the middle, but at the same time set himself up for the next gates. Okay, he's back there now, a little bit of a left bank. Now he's pulling. You're going to see him fly a little bit more aggressively here. Okay, he's already starting his repositioning turn. So here we go. Here's the G's. 4 to 6 G's right here being pressed into his seat. He's breathing. He's clenching his muscles. He's looking over his shoulder to make sure that he's not getting too far away from the track. It's looking good so far. He's going to dive back down. And he is absolutely fighting the wind now. The wind is against him. It's trying to push him to the side. Look at that. Absolutely clean. Right through the heart of the pylons. Beautiful. And now pulling up, repositioning. That 4G pull. Now a right bank, wing over, 90 degrees. And there's our youngest fan here today, a future pilot, we hope. These pilots are absolutely creating unforgettable memories for everyone in the stands today, and especially these young kids. Dmitry Morton now diving back in for his second lap around the course. There are 8 gates in this course today. Perfect altitude. Look at that, very minimal bank to the left, then a climbing right bank to reposition, pulling up. Look at the clean and beautiful lines of that L-29 Dolphin. This is an aircraft with more than 3,000 examples all over the world, having served in 40 different air forces. Some are still actively serving in military around the world as trainer aircraft. This is the first jet trainer a pilot gets his experience in before moving up to fighters or any other kind of jet aircraft. So diving back in, gate 6. He's getting pushed a little bit, but clean run right through gates 6 and 7. And all that's left now is to reposition for the finish gate. Let's see if he can get a better time than he did before. And look at this. Absolutely beautiful picture of the pylons and him diving down back in this beautiful L-29 Dolphin. And now he's on the home stretch, pushing that stick forward, trying to get every kilometer possible, get those wings level, and he pulls through, and a vertical pull for Dmitry Morton, and a victory roll. There it is. Dmitry Morton, 252.088, a 2.5 second improvement over his first try. Excellent flying today by Dmitry Morton. Now he can relax a little bit because he's already had 2 runs on the track today. Okay, folks, we're just going to keep this going. We're going to keep this going. Next, we're going to have Mr. Oleg Larionov in his Sukhoi 29. And hear the roar of that beautiful M9 Vedenev engine. That's 400 horsepower. Look at him. He's a homesick angel, just absolutely like a rocket into the sky. As you can hear, he's going to climb. He's going to get that plane to altitude. And let's talk a little bit about Mr. Oleg Larionov. He is really, truly the Elon Musk or Tony Stark of Russia. And there we see our judges for today, world, European, and national champions in their own right. Very strict, making sure these pilots are flying safely, making sure they're flying fast but safely, not breaking any rules. And let me tell you a little bit more, again, about Mr. Oleg Larionov. Like I said, his company, Laros, is producing an updated version of the Sukhoi 31, the world champion Sukhoi aerobatic plane, and they're also producing rockets. So he's really, as I said, the Elon Musk of Russia. He's a champion glider pilot. He's also a Yak-52 pilot. And, of course, 2 years ago, he bought this Sukhoi 29. This is a plane that revolutionized aerobatics. And here we go. He's already on the down line. He's diving in at 450 kilometers per hour. Only 50 kilometers per hour less than the jets. I mean, he is a rocket, a red rocket. And here he goes, Oleg Larionov through the first start gate. Everything was looking good. Now he's going to trade that speed for altitude. He's going to pull back. As you can see, all that extra speed also can be your enemy if you don't pull back hard enough, because it takes you away from the course as you reposition. So this is his first run. He's just getting a feel for things. Listen to that growl. That's 400 horsepower. Look at that. The wind is pushing him to left. He doesn't want to hit that pylon, so he had to adjust there. Climbing, repositioning turn. Almost 9 Gs there. You see him in the back cockpit there flying solo. That's a 2-place. This is the only 2-place piston engine aircraft in competition. Oh, the wind was pushing him up. He's readjusting there. This Sukhoi is extremely maneuverable. You just flick your wrist and it just turns. And oh, he pulled off. He pulled off. Okay, he didn't feel comfortable about that turn, so he decided. So that, you can see, a 20-second penalty for pulling off the course and for flying higher than the pylon. So he's already incurred a 20-second penalty. Now he's going to reposition and start again. He's going to try that again. Okay, so he's through. He's pulling back up. He has to complete the course. Even if he makes a mistake, he has to complete a full circuit to get his first lap time. He's diving down back in. He's through gate number 6 and now through 7. Now he's going to make a minimum radius turn. Absolutely trying to make up for that time lost, and now it's going to set him up for his second pass through. He's going to pull up. Now he's going to cool the engine off. He gets one more attempt. So you can better believe right now he's thinking about the mistake he made that first time. What happened is he had so much speed and he got blown off as he came through the start gate, and it pushed him off a little bit so much that it set him up wide for the second gate, and he just pulled off and repositioned. So now he's going to pull up. He's cooling that engine off, cooling himself off, trying to calm himself down, take a deep breath, and get himself back in the game. He's got one more chance. Again, Oleg Larionov is a man on a mission, not just an earthly mission, but to get rockets into space. Homemade here in Russia. Oleg is actually a grandfather. You wouldn't be able to know that by the way he's flying today. Boy, he ain't flying like an old man. He's got a young soul, and he has the fastest piston engine airplane out here today. But again, we're not just talking about speed. It's just as important to make the tightest turns. So here he is, full throttle, 280 miles per hour, 450 kilometers per hour. He has got plenty of speed. Listen to that howl, that supercharger. He's coming through. He's looking good. He's looking angry on this run, and he pulls hard. Pull hard. Look at that. Left wing over reposition. Wow, he's keeping it as low as possible. Minimum repositioning turn. He comes through the first gate a little bit on the right side. Now he has to reposition back to the left, but looking good. Altitude's good. He's pulling hard. His smoke system was working good. Now he's got to get it back down and set himself up again. Okay, he's through the start gate. Perfect altitude. Moving a little bit to the right. Now, again, the wind is really pushing him now from behind, and now he's going to pull back hard, pull into the vertical. Listen to that growl, that 400 horsepower pushing him quite fast and quite aggressively through the sky. Okay, he's fighting the wind. He's setting himself up for a straight run. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Wings were level the whole time through both gates and now repositioned. Now he's just got to get back to the start gate as fast as possible. He's got that motor absolutely pushing the limits right now. And he pulls through Oleg Larionov. And there's victory roll. 118.976. Excellent improvement on the first run, and most importantly, a penalty-free run the second time. 118.976. Good job, Oleg. Thank you for your flight. And next, of course, L29 time. It's jet time, as we like to call jet pilots, kerosene cowboys. And there he is. There is Mr. Vladimir Rodnishev. Okay, here we have the leaderboard. 110.407, Vladimir Ilinsky, the master instructor. Second place, Vladimir Anguladze, the newcomer. Vladimir Nikolaev in third place. Oleg Larionov so far in fourth place. Not a bad result. And there you see the dirt being picked up on this grass runway. Again, the L29 was made to operate in any climate, from any airstrips, with minimal infrastructure. It's a universal, it's what I call the Swiss Army knife of jets. It really can do anything. It's a trainer. It could be converted as a fighter aircraft with weapons, but thankfully today it's being flown in the hands of masterful pilots for speed and for the enjoyment of the audience. So let's talk a little bit about Vladimir Rodnishev. Born in 1960 in Voronezh, he's a pilot instructor, and he's a former military pilot. He's also a winner in the first ever Gagarin Cup, which was Jet Aerobatics Cup, the first time ever. There's never been, in the history of aviation, a jet aerobatics competition until last year, 2021. And of course, Vladimir was one of the winners, bronze medalist. He began flying in 1978, became an L-39 pilot, which is the bigger brother of the 29. He flew a MiG-23 and the legendary Sukhoi 27, which you've seen in air shows do the Cobra maneuver. And then he became an instructor in the L-29, and then a Yak-52, AN-2 Antonov Colt, Technam 2002. He has more than 2,400 flight hours, and he loves learning every flight something new. So, Vladimir Rodnishev is getting positioned, and again, let's talk a little bit more about this L-29. It does have an ejection seat, but of course nobody wants to use that today, and we're not planning on it. But in any case, it is an extremely safe aircraft. And here he goes. He has got his altitude, and he's ready to dive in. 500 kilometers an hour. Look at him fighting the wind, just trying to get lined up before he makes wings level and goes through the start gate. Here we go. The clock is on the run. Here we go. Let's see how he decides. Okay, he's pulling up. And beautiful shot from our drone camera. Okay, here we go. You know, that paint scheme almost makes him look like a Star Wars X-Wing fighter. This jet is part of the Jet Reactors team that flies out of Kaluga, a team of 3 aircraft that do aerobatic performances all throughout Russia. He's diving back in, fighting that wind now that's pushing against him. Whoa! Look at that. He's just like he's riding that saddle. It's a jet saddle. It's a metal saddle. It's not a horse today, but boy, he is getting bumped around by that wind, and he just was able to get it low enough not to get a penalty for flying above the pylon. So excellent correction right there. Now he's diving down back in, and you see now the wind is pushing him from behind and from the side, and he gets through just below the top of the pylon, so no penalty there. The wind is now pushing him, and he repositions to the left. A beautiful arcing repositioning 6G pull. Not bad for a young man of 62 years old. He's not resting today. Look at him. He's coming back through the pylons. Listen to the sound of that M701 turbofan. Beautiful motor-led engine built in Czechoslovakia. And he is absolutely dialed in now. Now he's made his first run, coming up on the end of his first run through the course. So now he's going to make an assessment. He's diving back in, and beautiful. Now he's going to pull up. And he's going to cool the oil temperatures down there a little bit. He's going to collect himself, and he's going to start analyzing what he needs to do to get a few seconds shaved off his time. So here we go. We've got a review here from Dmitry Motin and his last run. And again, the L-29, 30,000 of them were produced, and they're still flying today all over the world, including in my home state of California. There are all the way to New Zealand, if you can believe it. There are a whole group of pilots in New Zealand flying the L-29. It really is a universal aircraft. And let's talk a little bit about the technical specs of this aircraft. Maximum speed is 655 kilometers per hour. Stall speed is 130. Stall speed is the speed at which the plane will no longer fly. It stops producing lift and just falls down. Here we go. He's back in for his second and final run of the day. He's going to fly a lot more aggressively this time, because this is where everything is on the line. He's pulling back, minimum radius turn, which means bleeding the airspeed, increasing the G-forces, but at the same time increasing your turn radius to get back down onto the track. Here we go. He's diving back in. He's looking good. Flying just at the top of the pylons. He pulls into a steep left bank and then back onto a right bank, puts the jet into a wing over. Already putting the nose down as he's turning. This is the most brutal time on his body, because he is diving down and turning at the same time. Knife edge wing over. Okay, he's setting himself up for his second run on the course. Here we go. He's through. Wings are level. A little bit left correction to get to pylon 1. Wings are level. He's pulling up skyward like a homesick angel. Now the stick is back in his lap. He's looking over his shoulder. He's breathing and clenching all the muscles in his body to keep his G tolerance and keep the blood from leaving his head, as only a master pilot can do. 2,400 flight hours. Just a walk in the park. Here we go. He's flying directly through. He's crabbing it there. You see a little bit sideways, keeping the wind from blowing him into the pylons and repositioning. There we go. He's over the 90-degree, almost 110-degree wing over bank to get that jet back toward the home pylon as fast as possible in as minimum time as possible. He's looking pretty good here, folks. 147. He's diving in. He's getting every ounce of airspeed out. And there it is. Vladimir Rodnishev. And a beautiful, graceful victory roll on the L-29 Delphin. 151.783. Excellent improvement from his second. And hey, there's our ladies. You're having a fun time today, aren't you? Excellent, excellent, folks. And there we go. And we're not done yet. There is still much to come. Next up today will be Sasha Vasilyev, the current champion. There you go. He's off. He is taken off. Sasha, or Alexander Vasilyev, is the reigning Russian air race champion in the Yak-55 class. And let me tell you, yesterday I watched him fly. He is a man on a mission. Sasha came to aviation only in 2009. Started off by flying flight simulators, I think like a lot of us pilots did when we were younger. And from that, he took his first aerobatic flight in a Yak-52. I asked him, I said, Sasha, you know, first ever flight in an airplane and you pulled 6-7 Gs and did aerobatic maneuvers. How did you feel? He said, I felt great. I was hooked. After 20 minutes, I decided this is what I want to do. He's an engineer. He helps build and design aircraft. So that gives him, I would say, an advantage. When you understand how the plane works and how it's built, you know its limits, you know exactly. Look at him, just positioned. He's not wasting any time. He's already ready to go on the course in the M14 powered PF version, 400 horsepower. He's got about 40 more horsepower than the other Yak 55. So he's got lots of power. He's got experience as the champion. Let's see if that can bring him the fastest time today. He's through the start gates. He flies very precisely. He doesn't waste any energy. And look at that. Oh, a brutal hard 9.5 G. Possibly more. This airplane, he is pushing it to its absolute limits. He's already back, repositioned, ready for gate 2. And let's see if he can do this without having to make any adjustment. Looking good straight. It's pushing him to the left, but he's got plenty of room. A very hard right banking, brutal 9G turn. Boy, Sasha is just tearing it up so far, folks. Look at him coming through, already going through his second time. A little bit less speed this time because of all these turns and the G-force now. Oh, look at that. He just absolutely right through the gates and just slams the stick back into his lap. That's a unique quality of the Yak 55. You can't do that in other more modern aircraft. They'll have an accelerated stall, but not the Yak 55. It is a beast from the east. And look at him bring it through and absolutely precisely banking right hard. Minimal climbing turn. He's keeping his airspeed. And look at setting himself through and no penalties. Sasha, that was an excellent run. 111.253. And the ladies, the young ladies in the audience, they are happy. They are pleased. He is putting on a show for us today. He's going to climb, cool those engine temperatures off a little bit, get himself recomposed, see if he can't get a few few seconds shaved off possibly. Sasha, let's talk about him. European Aerobatic Championship in 2021. Silver medalist in the European Championship. And, I mean, incredible. Absolute champion all around advanced class 2021 in Usman. He, of course, as I said, has been participating for 2 years in the Russian air race. And, again, he is a multiple race winner and the current champion. And by the looks of today, boy, he's going to stay there. And again, he has a 3-bladed propeller. The other Yaks have a 2-blade propeller. So he's got a little bit of an advantage here. He's got a little bit more power. He's got a little bit more thrust with that 3-blade propeller. But it all comes down to the turns. You see, he's been the most aggressive. And as soon as he gets through that first pylon, he's already pulling back. He's not wasting any time. And he does it very, very precisely, as you can see. But the Yak 55 requires a lot of strength. It's a wrestler. So here we go. He's through for his second run. Clock has started. And bam! He just flicks his wrist, pulls hard back into his lap, and he's already back around repositioned. Let's see if he can get through. The wind is blowing him to the left, but he's keeping his foot on the right rudder there and grabbing it, and he's back to the right. Knife edge repositioning 9G turn. Listen to that growl of that M14 PF, 400 horsepower. He is through. Look at this. He's just very minimal. He almost doesn't even have to make a left turn because he sets himself up so perfectly, and he pulls back. Look at our drone capture here. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. He's not looking tired at all. He's looking to finish strong. Okay, he's got this time he's a little bit closer to the left side of the pylons, but he's going to make it through, and he absolutely wastes no time pulling back, banking right. And now here it is, the finish for Sasha Vasilyev. 110.999.33. Wow, incredible. And 2 victory rolls for our champion here. Why not, Alexander? You, my friend, are absolutely staying on the top of your throne today. And now he's going to cool that engine off and try to calm his nerves down, because this, folks, is an adrenaline rush. When you're flying, you're not thinking about anything else. You're keeping your eyes on the instruments, but really, it's just pure adrenaline, and you are just, there's no time to really think. It's just muscle memory, hundreds of hours of practice, and you get all of 1 minute to make your mark. So here we go. Next up, our next competitor is already getting ready to go. Again, Alexander Vasilyev, or Sasha as we call him, 35 years young, from Moscow. He's a candidate for Master of Sport in Russia. He's an excellent, excellent pilot. Always trying to learn more. Always trying to push himself a little bit further. So here we go. Next up, in the Yak 55, we're going to break the cycle here a little bit. Instead of going with the jet, we're going to go 2 Yak 55s in a row, and there's our audience. They are inspired. Sergei Zakharov, a master sport of Russia. Sergei Zakharov. Let's talk about Sergei. He is a master pilot. He's very focused. Born in St. Petersburg, where I lived for 10 years. A beautiful city. Not always the best weather, but incredible culture. He's a prize winner from the Russian Championship 2018, 19, and 20. He's an absolute champion of Russia in the Yak 52 class in 2017. He dreamed about flying from his childhood, but he didn't start flying until 2006. It was his long-awaited childhood dream finally coming true. He really took flight for the first time solo in 2011, and he started flying competitions in 2015. Okay, smoke is on. Throttle is all the way forward, 100%, and he is ready to go. Let's get the clock started. Sergei Zakharov, you are on the track. Here we go. He is flying through gate 1, and you can see he's taking a little bit different approach than Alexander Vasilyev. He's flying a little bit higher, not quite pulling as hard, but again, he's got a little bit more airspeed in doing that. He gets through gate 3 and 4 cleanly with very minimal turn. And look, oh, he pulls really hard. Boy, he saved his first hard pull for the gate 4 between 4 and 5. Very nice. Okay, and now he comes through for his second run. Now he's got a better feel for the track. Now he's going to try and make little improvements. Okay, whoa, and look at him kick the left rudder pedal and keep it from climbing, so he keeps his airspeed and energy and repositions back. Well, he's not messing around today. He saw that time put down by Alexander Vasilyev, and he wants to top it. So he comes through, look at this, absolutely rock steady, barely a hint of movement on the wings, and a brutal right climbing turn. Look at that beautiful bubble canopy. It has 360 degrees of visibility, and he dives back in, and now he's going to pull up 119.137. Well, he's got a lot to make up as far as time, but again, he gets one more chance. He gets one more run. That's not it. That's just the first time. So getting back to Sergei Zakharov, it's going to have to knock off 9 seconds. Not impossible, but not easy. But maybe he's been saving a little something there, you know? He doesn't want to give away all of his tricks in his first run. He's just getting a feel for things. So we'll see what he can do in the second run. Of course, he started in the Yak 52, as most of these pilots did, a 2-seat trainer. And again, he first place champion in the team Yak 52 Russian Championship and the World Yak Aerobag Championship. So this is no slouch here. This is a guy who's a former or current and world champion in Yak 52. Came to aviation a little bit later than most guys, but he's still only 32 years old. And from the historical and beautiful city of St. Petersburg, Sergei Zakharov is positioning himself for his second run today, his second and final run. Let's see if he can put down a better time. The smoke is on. He's diving down, making memories for a lifetime there, capturing them on video camera. And you see, again, the wind is now pushing him. He has a tailwind, so he's getting as much speed as possible, 350 kilometers per hour. Now he levels the wings off, comes through the start gate. Almost sounds like a jet there. Listen to that growl and howl. Almost no movement on the wings, and there it is, the brutal repositioning, climbing 180 turn. He gets the nose down. He's fighting the wind. It's pushing him to the left. And he's just trying to get through there. Very nice. And then immediately snaps back to the right. Kicks the right rudder pedal. He's pulling hard. He's trying to get back to that home pylon as soon as possible. He's got to get down. Don't go. Oh, he's got a penalty for flying too high over the pylon. That's a penalty. That's going to cost him 20 seconds. Oh, that's a 20-second penalty. That is painful. And he knows it. So now he's going to do everything. He's got the throttle full forward. He is pushing as much as he can to recover and get the best time possible. And he's through gates 6 and 7 cleanly. And now all that's left is the finish. So you can bet here he's pulling as hard as he can. Look at that. 2 hands on the stick, pulling back, breathing hard. And he's got to get it down, and he does. Sergei Zakharov, St. Petersburg, making his home city proud with a nice victory roll. And why not? That, folks, was a tough run. 119.137 is going to be his best time because of that 20-second penalty on his second try. And he's just going to use the rest of that smoke oil. Let it. Why not? Let it burn. Again, folks, you have to understand, I told you, we have current and former world and European and Russian champions. But the wind today is everyone's biggest enemy. It pushes you half the track, and then it's pulling you and pushing you aside, and then it's against you, and it's just absolutely changing every time you make a turn. And so you're having to battle the wind, and you're having to make these constant adjustments. And again, there's no autopilot on these aircraft. It's just your feel and your instinct, and you've got to get back and make adjustments. So, next, what do we have? Next, we should have Alexei Ivanov. Again, double duty today. Alexei flew earlier in the Yak-55, and now he's going to fly again in the L-29. He is the president of the Russian air races, and he absolutely loves to fly. It doesn't matter what it is, he'll fly it. Today, again, we're here celebrating the Great Victory Cup of Volgograd. Tomorrow is the day of victory in the city, which saw the biggest battle of World War II. And look at this. Oh, on landing, he's bringing it in. And right now, he has absolutely no forward visibility. He's just pulling the stick back. And look at it, he puts it down despite a crosswind. You see the wind is blowing from left to right, so it's trying to push him. And he's got that tail wheel. Masterful piloting, masterful stick and rudder skills to keep that airplane on the runway and to keep it safe and get back on the ground. Sergei Zakharov. And now you hear that beautiful, beautiful sound of that M701 turbofan of the L-29 Delphin. It's taken off. I mean, these guys are just in perfect synchronization. One guy lands, another takes off. This is masterful, masterful flying you're seeing here today. I hope you're all doing well today on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, a holiday weekend. We are very pleased to be with you. Give us your feedback. We really enjoy it. Please give us a shout out on YouTube. All those who are listening right now, and let us know where you're from, where you're listening today. Tell us. And there he is, Sergei Zakharov. He's got the canopy open to, of course, get some much needed ventilation. So, you know, he's doing a really, really good job. He's absolutely, of course, I'm sure disappointed with that 20-second penalty, but nonetheless, that's what happens. And that's why, you know, this is the opening race of the season. These guys didn't fly most of the winter. This was a particularly cold and unpredictable winter in the Moscow region, so these guys weren't flying in the winter, so they're still kind of knocking off the rust and getting comfortable in these planes again. Just to let you know, there will be another air race demonstration at the end of this month, May 28th and 29th, Festival Neba, or Sky Festival in the Moscow region at Airfield Chornaya. The Russian air race will make a demonstration flight, the Cup of Moscow. So make sure you are there. Get your tickets today. Again, Festival Nieba. You can find them on Instagram, on YouTube, on all the social networks, and be there because it will be an incredible event. Up close, speed, precision, maneuverability. And as we can see here, Alexei Ivanov is getting ready, positioned in his L-29. Alexei, sorry, I apologize. It's Vladimir Moskalenko. Okay, we're going a little different. Okay, here we go. Vladimir Moskalenko. This is a legendary pilot, folks. He is the instructor of most of the L-29 pilots you're seeing flying today. Vladimir Moskalenko, born in 1969 in Chechnya, in Gushetia, from the south. And so he likes the heat, and he likes making the heat. And this L-29, he's coming through his first run. He's keeping it low. Look at that. It's a little different. He's keeping it low, but boy, he is keeping it tight. So he is, by keeping it low in his repositioning turn, he is really keeping his airspeed and his energy. Now he's coming back down a little bit of a right bank to get through the, and we have our first penalty for him. He plus 20 seconds, flying too high through the gate. So he's gonna have to fix that. Look at that, wow, what a repositioning turn. That is incredible. Flies through the start gate for a second run through. Puts it right through. He fixed his mistake from the last time. Now he's repositioning, keeping it low, but this means maximum G-force up to 6 Gs. But this is nothing for the master instructor of the L-29, a military pilot, first class former military pilot. And of course, silver medalist from last year's Russian Jet Air Race Championship. Look at that, right through the pylons, just threading it through like it's easy. He really makes it look easy, folks. This is not easy. There's no hydraulic assistance in these controls. This is pure brutal force and strength. And he dives down back in. Very nice. Okay, he's gonna pull up now. He's gonna cool off a little bit. 148.688, not bad, but not as good as he could do. 20-second penalty. Imagine, that would have been 128, not a bad time. So let's talk a little bit more about Vladimir Moskalenko. Began to fly, his first solo flight in the L-29 was June 21st, 1988. During his service in the Air Force, he flew the MiG-21, multiple variants, the PFM version and the BIS version, the MiG-23, and he distinguishes himself because he is the only pilot among all these guys today that is also a helicopter pilot. He flew the Mi-8, MT, and the T version and MTV. He has a total flight time of more than 1,400 hours, and you can find him on the weekends in Oreshkova instructing and giving people joyrides of their lives. You too can fly one of these L-29s. You don't have to be a pilot. Go out to Oreshkova Airfield in the Kaluga region. They would love to see you, and they'll put you in the cockpit of this L-29 trainer jet and give you the ride of your life. If you have the need for speed, Oreshkova is the place to go. And you might even get to fly with Vladimir Moskalenko. And again, last year, competed in the inaugural Jet Championship, silver medalist. But today, he's looking for gold. All right, he's set up 500 kilometers an hour, 310 miles per hour. The throttle is full forward. He is ready to go, folks. All right, he's got to get it down, though. He's a little high. Let's see if he can get it down. He gets through the first start gate. He did. Very good. Okay, now, again, he's keeping it low. He's turning and burning. He's banking. And, oh, that's brutal, folks. That is 6G sustained. It is just absolutely crushing him in his seat. He gets it back, repositions, levels the wings, makes small adjustments. He's got to get through those pylons safely. He's getting close. Oh, he just by a couple meters missed on the left wing, but he got it through. It doesn't matter if it's pretty. It just has to get through and not make any mistakes. Here he goes, and he's Oh, very nice and quick repositioning turn. Up. A little bit of, ooh, not sure there. He didn't quite have his wings level, but he made it through. Oh, no. Oh, it looks like he was a bit high. Let's see what the judges say. It looks like he was a little above the pylon there, and we're not sure. So far, no indicators, so he might have gotten through there. Might have gotten a little lucky, but this is the wind, folks. This is the wind factor. You think everything's fine. At the last second, you get this gust. You get this turbulence that just comes out of nowhere and pushes you where you don't want to go. And look at that. Absolutely brutal right. Oh, it's just minimal radius turn. This is a master. Only a master could fly the L-29 so perfectly. Look at that. Vladimir Moskalenko, give us a victory roll, sir. There it is. Highway to the danger zone, baby. Vladimir Moskalenko, 124.866. Excellent. A 24-second improvement over his first run. Excellent, 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 folks. So Vladimir Moskalenko, that is how you do it. And, you know, think of the psychological factor here. You know, oh, the gear's coming down. He's wasting no time. He's going to get back on the ground because someone else needs to use the jet. So looking again through, you see he came in a little bit high there on that first time through the start gate. But he made up for lost time. And again, psychologically, you know, your first time through, you get a 20-second penalty. You know you've made a mistake. You got to collect your thoughts and just forget about that and just make the necessary connections. But you don't have a lot of time in these jets. Remember, you're going 500 kilometers an hour, 310 miles an hour. There's not a lot of time for corrections. But he's not going to let that stop him. And look at that. Bring the kids out. That's how it should be. So let's look at the leaderboard. In first place, Vladimir Moskalenko, 124.866, followed by Vladimir Rodnyashev, 151.783. Wow, that is a big difference, folks. I mean, look at the time, almost 30 seconds difference between first and second place, followed by Alexei Shakhmatov, Vladimir Lesnyak, our Sky Princess, Julia Krylova, showing everyone that girls can have fun and moms on the weekend don't just have to relax, they can fly jets. So let's talk a little bit about who's going to be coming up next. According to my schedule, it should be Alexei Ivanov in the L-29. We'll see what happens. We can hear the sound of the jets, and again, you know, the wind is picking up. It was this morning about 15 knots, or about somewhere along the 15 meters per second, and that is not easy. But of course, we have the best pilots in the world here. We see the maintenance crews. These guys are absolutely crucial to making sure these planes fly like clockwork. These planes have been flying all weekend long, nonstop. A real big thanks to these ground crews that do the dirty work, the work that doesn't, you know, get talked about, but I'm gonna put them on the spot. We're gonna pause for a commercial now. We'll be back in a minute, folks. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Great to have you with us here at the Great Victory Cup of Volgograd here at Airfield Srednya Akhtuba. Folks, if if you're not having fun yet, you better check your pulse. You might not have a pulse because these pilots are laying it on the line. I mean, they are absolutely pushing the limits of these planes in not easy conditions today. As I said before, extremely, extremely strong winds. And every time you're flying from the first part of the track, the wind is pushing you, so that's helping you. You're getting an extra speed advantage, but then you start turning around, and it's now pushing against you. These pilots are pulling in the jets 4 to 6 Gs. Now, I'm not going to ask you your weight, but you can, ask yourself, what is your weight? And you take your weight, whatever that is in kilograms, and you times it. You multiply it by how many, let's say 4 Gs is the minimum that these jets are pulling in the turns, up to 6 to 7. You multiply your weight times the amount of Gs, and that's how many kilograms of pressure is going to be pushed against you. And let me tell you, I was 11 years old when I had my first aerobatic flight. I didn't really understand that, and the pilot didn't really tell me anything about how to breathe, especially how to, tighten your muscles, and I blacked out. And that is not a fun feeling. And these pilots, they have trained for years, and they keep themselves in very good physical condition. As we can see, Alexei Ivanov is climbing and getting into position. Again, his second flight of the day. This is the director of the Russian air races. So, of course, he wants to put on a good show for everybody and show everyone else why he is the director. He flew the Yak-55 earlier today. And again, he is a member of the Russian national aerobatic team, a winner of Russian championship as the Yak-52 class in the team. And oh, look at that. We've got a flying high above. Looks to be a fighter jet. Could be a Sukhoi. Probably, yeah. Look at that. We have a guest flying over and putting on a little bit of an air show for us. So back to Alexei Ivanov. He was a winner of the Yak-52 class 2013, 2015, 2017, 2018, and a champion of Russia in the Yak-52 class in the unknown program. What's the unknown program? Well, before you get in the plane 10 minutes before, the judges give you a sequence of aerobatic maneuvers that you have to do. So it's basically improvisation. You don't know the order. You have about 10 minutes to kind of figure it out and get in the plane and fly it. That is the most difficult program and most difficult situation to be put in. And he was the champion of Russia in 2018 in the Yak-52. He began flying in 2008 and made his first solo flight on December 28th, 2008. He started in August, finished before the year was over in December, and his first instructor was Vladimir Ilinsky, who was one of his competitors as well. So, very beautiful background in the sky right now with, as we'd say, condensation trail. That's right. Bring your binoculars. Bring your binoculars to see every drop of sweat on that pilot's face when he's flying through the track. So here we go. Alexei Ivanov, he's ready to go. He is absolutely ready to go. He's got the jet dialed in. He's bringing it in for his first run, one of two. Okay, so he's throttled back a little bit. He hasn't pushed full power here. He's just kind of taking his time, getting his feel for the track, because it's a very different track from flying in the Yak, the piston engine Yak-55, and now flying in a jet. It's like going from a bicycle to a motorcycle. So everything's different. The feel is different. So he's flying real wide here. He's just getting a feel for everything and taking his time, getting himself positioned. So again, back to Alexei. Really, really fun guy to be around. And not only has he been flying this weekend, he's been in charge of all the organization, and he's been doing a great job. So he's been really, not only double duty, flying the Yak and flying the L-29, but also organizing. So here he goes. He repositions himself. He gets through left. Now he's got to turn to the left. Okay. So not the cleanest run through the pylons there. Not the most straight, but again, he's just getting a feel for the course, and he's going to have one more try through the course. So he's just turning repositioning himself back. And oh my goodness, look at the start pylon. It is just almost bent over in a 45-degree position. That tells you how strong the wind is here. And now he's getting a nice little tailwind pushing him. Not that he needs it in a jet. And yep, that was a good call. That was a safe call. He did not fly through the start gate because the pylon was compromised. It was not vertical. And so he made the decision to fly over it. That was a very smart decision. Better to fly over it than cut it. That's not going to cut against him, and they're going to have to fix that pylon. It's actually coming down at the moment. Not sure if that's on purpose or technical reason, but we'll hopefully get an answer. We got trained crews, folks. This is the third year of the Russian championship air races, and a very well-trained crew. So here we go. Alexei Ivanov is repositioning himself. He is doing the best he can, and not the easiest situation with the wind, and now with a pylon, the home pylon, not just any pylon, the home pylon has actually gone down. But these pylons are built very strongly. They've been working on them. It's been a 3-year process of trial and error and finding ways to improve in the material. And boy, I tell you, it's showing overall pretty well in these difficult windy conditions. And here he goes, beautiful, straight through the heart of the pylons, left climbing turn, now a right wing over, almost a 90-degree bank. He's climbing, getting altitude, but now he's going to trade that back now. He's going to point that nose down. He's going to get some airspeed as he repositions, and now he's going to see if he can't make his second run here. Again, the ground crews are still working on that home pylon, trying to get it fixed and get it back up as soon as possible. And let's see here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so he's on the down line. He's bringing it in. Yeah, that pylon is down. So he's going to pull up now. He's going to cool off a little bit. He's going to give that ground crew some time. He's going to give them some time to get that pylon fixed, folks. Let's talk a little bit more about Alexei. He only started competing in 2013, and since that time, Mr. Consistency, since 2013, he has not missed a Russian aerobatic competition. So he's kept himself in very good physical and mental condition, and he's flown the Yak-55, the SP-55M, which is a highly modified version of the Yak-55, more speed, more power, a little more difficult to fly. He's also flown the Extreme S-Bach 352, a all-composite, high-performance German aerobatic plane. And you know what his favorite thing to do is? You'd think he would say flying. It's actually just the whole Russian air race project. This has been his baby that he's been developing, and you know, it's been a long road. And we're so thankful for all of you who are following us today. And this is actually the first English translation. I'm privileged and glad to be with you all. And please give me your feedback and comments. Again, please give a shout out where you're from, where you're watching. And again, this is the fastest air racing in the biggest country on the planet. So today, again, we're mixing in both piston engine aircraft and jet engine. And here we go, Alexei Ivanov, he's on the clock. We're going to go ahead and go minus the pylon. He is on the clock. He's through the start pylon. Okay, now he's pulling up. And see, he's taking a different line. He's going to kind of go a little bit higher and then start the turn. He's kicking that rudder in there. Now the wind is pushing him, and now as he makes a left banking turn, now he's going back into the wind, and it's really, really making it difficult for him, trying to push him further away. But you don't want to get too far away, because that means extra time, and time is your enemy in this air race. Formula One style air racing. Alexei, he interrupted me with his first flight through the first gate, but he said his favorite thing to do is working on the Russian air race project from start to finish, all the logistics and planning and getting everyone together, and he has built a solid team. So here we go. Back through gates 2 and 3, looking good, clean, penalty free. He's pulling up. Oh, that's a sharp pull-up. Look at that. The G's. He is climbing. But again, all that altitude he can now convert and trade for airspeed as he dives down back in and tries to get that 500 kilometers out of the L-29 Delphin. So here he goes. He wings it over, 90-degree wing over, nose down. And here he goes, and he might have been a little high there. We'll see. Now he's turning to the left. Oh, no. He is, okay, wow. We've got a penalty here. Let's see what the judges are going to say. He absolutely was a bit high, and now he's turning back around, repositioning. He's got to finish. So far, the judges are saying it's okay. He looked a little high to me, but I could be mistaken. It's not the fastest time out there today, but nonetheless, when they strap you into a trainer jet with 1,900 pounds of thrust and you're going 500 kilometers an hour, it doesn't matter first or last. You're going to have a blast. So here we go. He's diving back in. He's ready to finish up here. Listen to the sound of that kerosene being burned. Listen to that speed. And he pulls up. A nice graceful left bank. Now back to the right. Wing over, 90 degrees. He's got that beautiful canopy. He can look back over his shoulder. He's breathing, keeping the blood in his head. Give a shout out to our camera crews today from all angles. You are getting exceptional 360-degree panoramic viewing from this air race. And here we go on the final stretch. Alexei Ivanov diving down, and there we go. Thank you, Mr. President. Can you give us a victory roll? No, 3 minutes, 3 seconds, .393. All right, so, but no penalties on his second run. Hey, say hey to us. Yeah, how you doing, folks? So there we go. That's Alexei Ivanov. Again, he is showing everyone how to do it. First flying in the Yak-55, then flying in the L-29. And he's having a lot of fun out there today. He is having fun. So that is wonderful. We are glad to be here, folks. And here we go. We're not wasting any time. Climbing like a homesick angel. The youngest current world and European intermediate champion of Russia, Mr. Ivan Borsov. He is flying the Sukhoi 29. Remember, that's the 2-seat aircraft. It's the fastest piston plane here today. And I'll tell you what, Ivan is not playing today. He wants to win. I saw him walking around yesterday. He was watching every single competitor, taking notes, trying to find where their mistakes are and where he can improve. He's born in Surgut in southern Siberia. He's a candidate for Master Sports, the all-around European champion intermediate class last year in Romania, absolute champion of Russia and all-around intermediate class in 2021 Usman, champion of Russia as the Yak-52 team, and he is also the 2021 Nizhny Novgorod Air Race Cup winner. Vanya, as we call him for short, is actually the leader of and founder of the world's only woman aerobatic team called Barsi in Surgut. He started flying at the age of 14 with his father. His first instructor was his father, and that's where he got his love for aviation. At 16 years old, he made his first solo flight in the Moscow region in Stupino. And he is, he's a jack of all trades. He's a Yak-52 class winner of not only Russia, but also the championship in Belarus, second in the league as well there. And he is the winner of the Yak-52 Cup, the Angara Cup. He's flown multiple aircraft. Listen to this. Oh, we'll take a pause because he's ready to go. 450 kilometers per hour. He is ready to fly. And he comes in. Listen to the growl, that 420 horsepower M14. And oh, beautiful. And look at the brutal climb and pull, and he just absolutely repositions this aircraft perfectly. Gets it back on the track as soon as possible. Very exact. Look at his movements. Just flick the wrist, and he just pulls through gate 4. Back down. Look at this minimal radius turn. Oh, and he got hit with some turbulence there. A little bit bumpy there, but he got through it. No penalties so far. There you go, Vanya. Now he's going to pull up hard. Look at the 9.5 to 10 Gs. This aircraft can pull up to 12. It's really a strong aircraft, so he can pull it as hard as he wants to, but he doesn't want to pull too hard and lose speed. Okay, he comes back through pylons 6 and 7. Keeping it nice and straight, and now pull back hard, reposition, get the nose down, get back to that home start pylon as quick as possible. There we go. Okay, he's through. He's going to pull up now. He's going to cool off. 104.692. Wow, he is flying. 104. That is the fastest time we've seen today. So way to go there, Vanya. Very, very good time. Representing Surgut. Again, this aircraft, it is fast, but again, in the turns, it's all about the precision in the turns and pulling hard. The more G's you pull, you lose airspeed, but you stay close to the pylons. Minimal radius turns, minimal distance between pylons means less time. So he's climbing up. It won't take much longer because that's Sukhoi 29 climbs 3,000 feet per minute, or about 5,000 meters per minute. It is a rocket. This was the airplane that changed aerobatics. People used to think you could only win an aerobatic competition with a single-seat aircraft, not with the 229. You can do it with 2 seats. It's such an incredible aircraft with such incredible performance. Maximum speed somewhere around 450 kilometers per hour. Stall speed of 110 kilometers per hour, and G limit of 12 plus 12 minus 12. It has a roll rate of 360 degrees per second. What does that mean? If you want to do a roll, it takes 1 second. You just flick your wrist, and it's already done 1 circle. Here we go. Vanya Barsov is ready to go. He's got full throttle. He's diving in with plenty of speed. Just absolutely, listen to that supercharger. Listen to that growl coming in. Now he's got to trade that speed and pull hard. There it is, a 10 to 11 Gs. He is just pulling it, and amazing piloting. Keeping his composure, getting it back straight on line. Look at that, absolutely level through the pylons. Not too high, not too low. And there is the bone-crushing 180-degree turn to the finish pylon. Now he's got to go through one more time. Perfect. Very nice, Vanya. Now he's got to come back through. He's looking to beat his own time. He's his own worst enemy here. Okay, there it is. There he goes. Pulls into the vertical. The current European... Oh, and he's got the smoke on. Hey, there we go. Looks even better now. The current European Intermediate Aerobatic Champion. And here we go. He's through Gate 6 and through Gate 7 clean, no penalties. Vanya's looking good. Now let's get back. He's got to get back to that home pylon, and he's got 1 pylon down, so he's got to make sure he stays within. And wings level, altitude good. Get 103.800. That is how you get it done. Absolutely incredible. And we might have our winner today. We might just have our champion. Vanya Barsov from Surgut. He might be from Siberia where it's cold, but boy, he is flying hot today, folks. Again, let's watch the review here. He comes in a 90-degree knife-edge left turn to get himself set up for the first gate after the start, and then just absolutely minimal radius repositioning vertical turn, which is just absolutely bone-crushing, really, folks. This plane is just, it will do whatever you tell it to do. It really is. It's built from all composites. It was a revolutionary airplane in the world aerobatic scene, and it's still to this day is one of the best flying. Vanya told me himself that this is one of the best flying Sukhoi 29s that he's ever flown, and this is owned actually by Mr. Oleg Larionov, who we call the Russian Elon Musk, who flew earlier. and was gracious to share his aircraft with 2 other competitors. So, as you can hear, that's the sound of a jet. And Anton Verjocha is next up in the L-29. Anton, I'm going to give a special shout out to Anton's daughter. It's her 16th birthday today, and let's see for her birthday if her father can deliver a victory. Well, that would be a good present. So here we go. Look at this. Ivan Barsov, first place, 103.800, followed by Vladimir Ilinsky, 110. Alexander Vasilyev, 110.933. Vladimir Anguladze, 111.35. And rounding out, of course, 117, 18, 19. And Pavel Brakov, Dmitry Motin, 143. And we still have one left, Sergei Gurov, waiting to go. And let's see if he can pull some magic out and pass Ivan Barsov. So, Ivan just absolutely laid down the gauntlet and went out and put up an incredible, incredible time. And I'm sure he's going to be really happy when he gets back on the ground. He was really serious yesterday during practice. He's one of the last guys that got to practice yesterday. Waited his turn patiently. Hello there, young lady. Yes, give a wave to the camera. We've got people watching in their cars. You know, when people hear that sound, they want to come out and they want to see what's going on. And that's right. Everyone, all smiles here today. The wind cannot put a damper. You know, we are thankful. We have sun, we've got blue skies, and we thank the good Lord for this beautiful weather today. And yeah, the wind is blowing, but you know what? We're going to make the best of it, and we have so far. We've seen some world-class flying by these pilots. Absolutely amazing. So next up, Anton Verjocha. He is one of the members of the Jet Reactors team. It is a team of 3, and here we go. He's ready to go. He's through the start. Again, this is his first out of 2 runs, so it's kind of just, you know, get a feel for the track. He decides to pull real high into the vertical, but now he's going to be able to trade all that altitude for some airspeed, or like what we like to call smash in the aviation community. He's going to get some smash coming down on the down line. And here he goes. He's through pylons 3 and 4 cleanly, smoothly. Anton is a very smooth flying pilot, very exact guy. And he's coming back down. Nice wing over. He's coming down with a lot of airspeed. And he comes through, just gets below the top of the pylon to avoid a penalty. Now he pulls up. Oh, the wind is pushing him, and okay, so what he's doing here, you saw the other pilots were turning right to get some distance and spacing and then turn back left, and he just went straight left, which means he is using minimal radius turns to try to minimize his time. And here we go. He's just flying very smoothly through, almost minimal adjustments. Very, very nice. Anton Verjocha, very vertical climbing turns and then back down. It's a different strategy and different style than the other pilots today. Anton is 45 years young. First place in 2020 in the jet class. First place. And current reigning champion of the jet class 2021. So this is the reigning champion, and he got in his first try. He also tried his hand in the Yak 55 last year in the air races, and first time soloed and became a contestant. And here he goes. Back through. Oh, he's fighting that wind. He's fighting. He's trying to keep it straight and steady. Remember, all these little turns and these little movements, they're costing you speed, which is costing you time. So you want to keep the plane as steady as possible, but that's easier said than done on a day like today. And look at this beautiful arcing vertical onto the downline turn back through the home start. He's going to climb now. It's going to take a minute here just to recollect himself, to get himself nice and calm down and try to see if he can do better on his second run. The second and final run of the day. Again, let's talk a little bit about Anton. He's flown the Zlin 43, Yak 52, Yak 55, Cessna 172, Yak 18T, L-29 with a total flight time of 1,000 hours. He's a candidate for a Master of Sport in Russia, meaning a professional pilot. He's also a flight instructor. He's the right wingman on the reactor's jet team that makes displays all throughout Russia. And on top of it, he's a father whose daughter is having her 16th birthday today, and watching him live, trying to deliver a victory for her birthday. And as the reigning champion, maintain his spot atop the podium. He's a very serious student of air racing. He's a very careful pilot. And again, this L-29 is just an incredible aircraft. Oh, and he's coming back in. Okay, something, we don't know why. He's decided not to make a second full run for whatever reason. He's coming back in. I have good news for us, folks. I'm just looking to our right. Oh, okay, 126.257. Not a bad time. Not a bad result at all. Our start pylon has been repaired. Our excellent ground teams have repaired it in record time, and it's ready to go. You see Anton Virocha is on final approach for landing, and you can see our hardworking crews wasted no time in getting everything back and working order. So here he goes. He's coming in. He's battling that crosswind. That wind is pushing him. It is pushing him away from the center line of the runway, but like a master pilot, he just dips. It's pushing him from left to right, so he just, look at this, soft into the grass. Look at that. I mean, how many jets can you land and take off from a grass runway? There aren't many. It's an impressive airplane. He's back safely on the ground. A nice smooth touchdown. Okay, and that, of course, that's the beautiful sound of the Yak-55 taking off with our next competitor. Well, today has been a day to remember here at the Great Victory Cup Championship race in Volgograd. Sergei Gurov, our last competitor in the Yak-55, candidate of a master sport. He's waited his turn. He's waited all day. He's seen everybody else fly. That means he's seen everyone else's mistakes. And he's going to take all that information. Sergei is also, you won't believe this, but he's actually a candidate for master sport in powerlifting. And he loves football. He's from Cherepovets. He is a champion in Usman 2021 in the Yak-55. He is a prize winner of the Advanced Aerobatic Team of Russia in 2019. He's a prize winner of the Russian Federation Aerobatic Cup Intermediate Class 2018. And again, he's a master powerlifter. Okay, smoke is on. So this is a strong man. Let's see if he's strong enough to beat Ivan Barsov and his time of 103 and change. Here we go. He is diving, and boy, he is getting plenty of airspeed. 350 to 300 kilometers per hour. Incredible amount of airspeed. Okay, he's through the start gate. Very precise. Pull up. Flying level. Very minimal left banking action, and there it is. He is absolutely crushing it right now, using all his strength to pull that plane back and reposition it and get it back on the track. Look at, he's coming in here through gates 3 and 4, and a brutal, wow, look, he just puts it like drifting a car. He just puts it and just slides it by the tail and gets it back around, back through the start gate. That is absolute perfect technique right there to get the plane back around as fast as possible in as minimal distance as possible. The shortest distance between two lines, of course, is a straight line. Well, nobody's flying straight today except through the pylons, but minimizing your distance and your turning radius between the pylons, that's where this championship will be won and lost. So here he goes, perfectly straight through gates 6 and 7 and bring it back around to the finish. Listen to the sound of that growl, that M14 PF, 400 horsepower. Okay, 110.6 .086. That looks good enough so far for second, third place right there. But that's just his first run, folks. He's got one more to go. He's climbing back up, cooling off those oil temperatures and cylinder head temperatures, climbing it back up. You better believe this is the last flight of the day. He knows this is his last opportunity to best his first run and his first time, and you can see, boy, he came in here, he dived down, he leveled the wings, brought it in, very minimal movements, and then just absolutely pivots as if he was on a point, on a string, you know. He just pivots after, right there, look at that, just brutal. I mean, that's 9-10 Gs right there, just pressing against you, and you're just pulling back and trying to get this plane back repositioned to get through the next pylon and next gate. So here we go. Sergei Gurov. He's going to make his last round. There we go through and Laros. You see that on the pylons? That's one of our main sponsors today. Oleg Larionov, that's his company, the Russian Elon Musk, producing not only aerobatic aircraft, but space, folks. He's going to be sending a rocket into space. So here we go. Well, let's see if Sergei Gurov can make himself a rocket. Here we go. He's diving down, a man on a mission. This is the last round of the day. Let's see if he can be the champion. Okay, he's coming right through again. Okay, this time he's a little bit to the right. So we're positioned there, and there it is. And he's pulling into the vertical with everything he's got, holding nothing back, trading his airspeed for altitude, rolling back in. You can see the wind has kind of died down a little bit. The smoke is not blowing too much to the left or right. And here we go. He just kicks it around there. He's just absolutely kicking it around, keeping the plane as low to the ground as possible. Repositioning very nice right through the middle of the pylons. Ooh, he went up a little bit there. A little bit of turbulence that pushed him up, so that's going to cost some airspeed. Look at that! Absolutely incredible repositioning turn. Minimal altitude, minimal airspeed, keeping his energy, and he is coming in hot, folks. He is coming in hot, and here it is. This is for everything here. The last and final turn, boy, he is just wrestling that plane around. That's a power lifter right there at the controls. And here we go, Sergei Gurov. It through at 109.170. He's improved this time. And there's the victory roll. Excellent. Let's see where that puts him. A full 1.6 seconds better than his first attempt. Boy, he had no motivation there. Wow, folks, that was absolutely incredible. That is airmanship at its finest. So we'll get a quick look here at the leaderboard. We'll see. These will be the final results, barring any penalties. We see so far he has a penalty-free flight. Okay, let's see. Let's look through here. Okay, so this was the second run. He kind of a little bit to the left and to the right. And again, when you bank your wings like that, that's a little bit of more aerodynamic resistance and slows you down a little bit. You want to keep the wings level while you're flying straight and then save your banking for the turns. But you can see the second time through, he was being pushed to the right, but he corrected and got back to the left. Look at that, folks. These pilots have just absolutely astonished the crowd. And look, a victory roll at the end. Here we go. Let's look at the results, folks. Let's look at the results. Okay, Ivan Barsov 103, and Sergei Gurov, he made it into second place by less than a second over Vladimir Ilinsky in third place. Bronze, Alexander Vasilyev 110.933, Vladimir Angeladze 111.534, Vladimir Nikolaev 117.864, Oleg Larionov in 7th, Sergei Zakharov 119.137 from Voronezh region. Folks, this has been an incredible air race. These pilots just absolutely did their best in very windy conditions. Congratulations to Ivan Barsov. Folks, I'm signing out. This has been your commentator, Lauren Harrison. It's been a privilege and a pleasure, and we will see you again soon. Tune in to our Instagram channel, Russian Air Race, and we will be happy to continue this season with you. Alexei Ivanov in 9th place, Pavel Bravkov in 10th place, and rounding out the end, Dmitry Mortin in 11th place. Again, there is your silver champion. Okay, here we go. The jet class. Vladimir Moskalenko is our champion. 124.866 from Krasnodarsky region in the south. Anton Veryocha delivers the second place finish and present for his daughter on her birthday. Vladimir Rodnishev rounds out at third place. 151.783. Alexei Shakhmatov in fourth place, also from Krasnodar region in the south. Fifth place, Vladimir Lisnyak, 2 minutes, not bad. And, of course, okay, in the end, number 9, Anton Pavlov, 354.798. And Julia Jett, what a performance from her, showing everyone that girls can have a lot of fun around the pylons in a jet. So, again, thank you so much for joining us today at the Great Victory Cup in Volgograd. We wish everyone a very joyous holiday tomorrow on the Day of Victory, commemorating the Day of Victory. And we thank you so much for joining us. The Russian Air Race Championship of 2022. The first race is in the books. We look forward to our next race. Stay tuned. We will be coming to you when we can. Summertime is going to heat up, and that means the competition's going to heat up, folks. I want to say a big thank you to our judges, to our ground support, to our crew, to our audience, to all of you out there watching on YouTube. This has been a day to remember. And again, our winners, Ivan Barsov in the piston engine class. And thank you again.